Cool,
Oh,
cool.
boy.
Just started without warning, and now the stream knows.
Oh, boy.
Love it.
Oh. Well, I don't think anyone's gonna be watching it.
Oh,
so it's
boy.
fine
Go.
anyway. I mean,
Wow.
I
Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna
meant
mute you
anyone in the game.
myself and then just
I meant
commentate
anyone in
over
the
this.
game.
Like,
Okay, you can do
Jesus.
that. I meant anyone in the game. I don't think anyone
Fucking
playing is gonna be
riff,
watching your
dude.
stream.
Nobody's
Oh my
watching your
God.
stream. Fucking might as well
No
end
one
it
in
now.
this game. Oh my God.
A lot of memes, but you gotta be cringe.
Killer Keemstar.
I love how in this tournament and the last tournament, there's so much screwing around, even in the tournament games, where it's like in the invitational, it was just like straight to business every single game. It felt like
But I think it depended on the heat though. Like my heats had a lot of memeing.
my heats every single time was just straight to the game.
Mm.
No,
But I think
messing about.
the messing around though like gives good reads sometimes. You can tell who's comfortable and who isn't, at least.
Yeah.
Which can give some insight. I don't know. Because I remember my heats, like at the start it was like pretty serious, but then like later it was memey, and then I made a lot more reads off that than like serious N1. Everyone has at least one
Wow.
person watching this time, which is good.
Doxy would be in love and one going meta so far.
That's how it
Honestly.
went in his game, too.
Oh, these hacker positions are so good.
You guys talk about hackers.
The hacker positions? How do you know hacker positions?
Hey, you didn't even have blockers on when your stream started. I think everyone
Okay,
knows
you are so
hacker
scuffing this
positions.
up right now, bro. Come on.
Okay.
Anybody watching this is, like, I don't know.
Didn't you say you didn't have blockers up though when it started?
Yeah, let's just, let's remove the blockers then. Fuck it. Like, they don't even serve a
I'm just
purpose at this
saying,
point then. If we're just gonna, like, openly talk about what's going on in the game and what we know.
Well,
You
said
know,
that
I totally,
the
like,
blockers
scuffs the
weren't up
whole
right away anyway.
point of the blockers.
But were the blockers not missing when
That,
the game started
like,
anyway?
okay, so then we should just take the blockers off according to that logic path. And that's just silly.
Hey, Luke.
Hey, I just saw a lot of other channels were muted and such. I was worried I wasn't okay to speak.
No, you're good. But Kane's streaming, so don't talk about rules, I guess.
Understood.
I mean, I can take down the blockers and we can talk freely. I don't care, either way. I just did the blockers because everyone's always worried about stream snipers.
No, the blockers are good, but when it was already scuffed, I figured it was already scuffed.
Yeah, but everybody that watches the VOD might not see that, and they might not care to pay attention to that. There's so many variables there. But like, if we just talk freely about it, there's no point in the blockers. An Asoid.
Anyway, it's always good to be sure. I always say best.
Oh yeah, that's how I'm right there with you. I don't think we should talk about what we know. We should act like, we don't know, like we did last time.
So who was in Node 1?
Sunny Bogdan.
Yeah.
Top right.
Okay.
Can we talk about who's who?
I don't know.
Or who we think is who?
I mean, that's always
Like
been
that.
fine, yeah. Everybody's always talked about
So-
who's who.
Is, like, I don't know, I guess Sunny is Arsenal, maybe? I don't know. Seems like the only person.
I kind of want to try and push the narrative that Sunny and Noah are on the same team.
Oh, god damn it. I gotta mute that. What's up, Ricky-Tan? Yeah, here we go again. Another game. We have no idea who's who, like what roles or anybody. We have no fucking idea. Don't look at the VOD. There's no way to tell. You're stuck in mystery just like the rest of us. Who expose themselves in deduction game? That's like reading detective books from that. That's what I'm saying. But you know, there are people that do that, right? They'll read the last chapter, the last page of their book in fear that they aren't going to finish it.
Yeah, people also do that to see if like they'll like a book, but then it just sometimes just spoil it. Like,
Yeah. Especially if it's like a series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely avoid doing that. It's just pointless. Like, if you're gonna read it, just read it.
I've done it a couple times when I first heard about it, but like honestly, the books that I read didn't matter because it was always new characters that got introduced halfway through. So I was just like, I don't know what this means.
Fair enough. I mean, I'll admit I don't do much reading in my free time. Like proper reading, that is.
They say the older you get, the more you should, just to keep that brain active.
Oh, I'm always keeping my brain active. That's not an issue, at least.
Yeah, that's why we play MINDNIGHT, right?
No,
Yeah.
that actually
True
kills
intellectual.
brain cells and makes
Hold
your
on,
brain
what is Noah saying
deactive.
about a rule break? Noah's saying that if Lloyd and Bogdan are hackers, they broke a rule because they stated their role. I don't think Noah understands the rules properly.
Well, he's
Did
saying
Lloyd and Bogdan say that they're hackers?
you have to be agent. That's a rule break. What?
No, he's saying if you're hackers, you broke a rule, so you have to be agent. Because he said that the rule that they broke is role reveal. So maybe they were memeing about being hacker and he thinks that's a rule break, but that's not.
Yeah, anybody can claim hacker. Anybody can claim agent.
Yeah, I'm
you never know
thinking
who's
maybe
who.
Noah doesn't understand the rules properly. I'm not sure.
Could be.
So Noah might be Lemon then.
Yeah, Lemon. I was about to say he's pretty new to the game still, so he's still learning the ropes. We got a bunch of those kind of players in this tournament.
I just want to confirm that the streams are locked, meaning that only if you have a high enough role, you can see the thumbnail of the stream.
Yeah, if you have a commentator role.
Right, that's probably why I can see. I just had to be sure.
Yeah, commentator or higher can see all of them, and then the teams, I made sure that they can only see their own.
Gotcha. So, I know who Noah is. Got it. I'll keep that quiet though, of course.
Okay.
I remember in the very first tournament, the Invitational, there was issues with that, but like never really became an issue. Like
With what?
Like people could like see the people streaming.
Oh yeah, but yeah,
But
everybody
like,
in that tournament,
everyone in that
we
tournament was
were-
so trusted,
yeah.
it was fine. It's pretty easy to keep track of 15 people
although
with your friends.
there is, I won't name names, you know, because that's bad form when you're streaming. But somebody from that tournament did claim that others in that tournament collaborated and cheated to get the end results. And I laugh at that.
Yeah, I think
Did I miss that?
I think that
Oh no,
think
you
that
can see it in
person-
our Discord. I post Lex
No,
posted
I
pictures
don't-
of it.
I don't think that person like
He doesn't.
actually thought that way. I think they were just upset in the moment.
No, they said
I
that
don't know.
months after to Lex. in a quick play game.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I did that. That was me.
Oh, I thought it was Lex.
Scripted.
Oh, god
No,
damn it.
I
Shut
said
up.
it was scripted.
Yeah, shut up.
How the hell did you win? What is this shit?
Oh, that
Wait, where is it
person's
posted
just-
in the server, Kane?
In one of the discussions, MINDNIGHT or the other one. I forget which one. It's probably Scrub Lords, because that's a Scrub Lord thing. No, it's not Scrub Lords. It's discussion.
No, it's the other one.
Oh, welcome to the party, Mr. Soilius.
The winning team should have an easier time getting their skin in an update. After talking with Ivan a bit, we're lowering the number each month to 5. We were trying and just get out all the skins that have been accumulating from the art studio rapidly. But, at the moment, it's currently doing a bit more damage than nothing instead of nothing. I was hoping it wouldn't have an effect, but I was wrong. So we're reducing. I know I don't play a lot, especially not properly with me just playing for fun in customs, but how many times is it just going to be passed?
They love passing in last tournament and this tournament. And I think that it just comes down to like indecision and not wanting to be wrong. And honestly, it's what I've titled a logic loop, and it endangers agents from winning is really what ends up happening. Because the more they take time, the more talking that happens, the more lost the hackers can get in the conversation and gain agents' trust.
I think it can go both ways, though.
Yeah, definitely. But more than not, in last tournament and this tournament, it's given hackers way more of an advantage. And you can see it in the hacker win rate.
Because there were a lot of games where people propped early and didn't pass, and hackers won because of that. So it depends. If you have a reason to pass, you should pass. If you don't have a reason, if you're confident in your prop and like you won't change your mind, then you shouldn't pass. But
my general rule is like passing around like once or twice is fine. If it gets past that, like someone's gotta step up and make a decision because there's someone that shouldn't be passing those.
yeah, well, I
Other
think it
prop.
depends though, because sometimes you genuinely have like zero idea, like no one has any prop in mind particularly.
I think you're.
But I mean,
I
by
can hear
now you
Alvin,
should
by the way.
have... Yeah, I muted him for the stream, so it's fine. Whatever he says is not getting carried over, and I'm not even hearing it. So I'll probably talk over him.
Yeah, I purposely server deafen everyone so people watching can still hear them talk if they want to like speak, so you can hear what's
I
going
didn't
on
know
in their
if that
minds.
was intentional or not.
Yeah, it's intentional.
Yeah.
But they're deafened, so they can't hear anything.
I just wanted to make sure.
I just wanted to ask, because after you mentioning that passing is kind of infinite in that sense, what do you guys think about adding a limit to the number of passes that can happen between each proposed proposition? So, like, let's say we added a limit of 3 passes, and then after those 3 passes, you wouldn't be able to pass again. You could either accept or reject the team, and if it's rejected, you'd get a reset on those 3 passes.
I don't know.
That's actually pretty
I
interesting.
think the passing is fine.
I kind of like that. Because it forces the
think
game
it's
to
kinda
actually progress, unlike where we get stuck here for 30 minutes watching them pass a no 2, when we already have information on the field. And things
But I
should
think
be
it also
proposed.
kind of like forces you to have a prop right away when sometimes you just don't.
Yeah, but you should,
it
after
forces you to
node
rush
1,
your
you
thinking.
should have a couple of props in mind. And within
A
3
couple, yeah,
paths,
not a
within
set
3
one.
paths, you should be able to narrow it down.
Yeah.
3 pass per person or 3 passes, like 3 people can pass.
I think he
and then you
said
have
3
a prop.
pass per person, and then if it gets rejected,
I
it
meant
resets.
3 passes. I meant 3 passes overall,
Oh.
and then there'd be no more passes. It'd then either go to hammer, where it's rejected.
Yeah, see, I think it would be better if it was like everybody had at least 1 or 2 passes then. maybe like 2 passes. If everybody had 2 passes total, just to like get the game rolling, because otherwise it just gets stuck.
Yeah, that's my concern because I just see it ongoing. I think,
Yeah.
what's the point of sitting here in this kind of infinite like loop? At some point, it needs to progress, and that's part of the stink. That's part of the power of this.
Yeah.
But I think if you like put a limit on the number of passes that people can make, then that's like a big hacker advantage. I think because like I don't know how to explain. I'm trying to put my thinking.
I mean,
No, I feel like community passes would be hacker focused, but individual, like limit passes, like 3 per person.
I don't know. It kind of forces you to like change how you play to match like rules. I don't know. It limits play styles.
It would be interesting if it was like an option.
Yeah, no, like another game mode.
Like you know how like you can turn hammer off.
Oh
turn
yeah,
hammer
something
off.
like that.
So
yeah, if it was a custom mode, I think it'd be cool, like for tournaments and stuff. But I don't think it should be like default.
Well,
if there's 3 passes per person per node, you know, you can take a maximum of a minute before you pass, right? So if everyone does that, that'd be 15 minutes, and then no one else could pass. You'd have 0 5. That'd be a 20-minute max node, which is acceptable, really.
Yeah,
kind of keeps the game.
And we're talking like tournament here, not like default quick play here, you know, because like this is an issue in tournament play, not quick play. Quick plays are fine. Nobody passes in quick play like
3 passes
this
per,
much.
Yeah, 3 passes per person per node, and then it's 20-minute max.
What do you do in the situation where someone accidentally DCs, because that happens a lot, and then you have to pass back around until they come back? What do you do in that situation?
I've never seen anybody in these tournaments DC longer than a minute.
I've seen people DC and you have to pass around until they come back. It's happened several times.
Well,
Last
then
tournament happened several times.
Well, in that case, you add an exception to the rule. You'd add an exception to say, if disconnected, then ignore the passes that occurred until the user comes back. I think that's a fairly simple.
Can we just point out that Lloyd has just put in the chat that Nori is a hacker?
Yeah, no one's calling him out.
Did August just speak?
I can't speak.
August, what the fuck? You have a voice?
I have a low voice.
I wonder if Albin usually talks while he plays, or if he's just doing it because he knows we can hear him.
I'm not sure. He does it every time he streams to me, but like I deafen him every time he streams to me so that he can talk. So.
Because I never say a word if I'm playing. I never say a word. Like I just sit there and just am in the game.
Well,
when
when I'm unmuted, I always talk. I think I just like what I say in my head. I say out loud, and it kind of helps. I think.
What's up? It's your boy Albin, and welcome to the Casual Gang. Today we're going to be playing some MINDNIGHT.
So sometimes when I play, I turn all Italian and I do some incredible hand gestures behind the screens, right?
I have to explain the rules to Noah after this.
He's still going on about
I
rule break.
I feel like someone needs to interfere. Should I interfere and tell them that that's not a rule break?
Yeah.
Bogdan's explaining. Never mind.
Yeah.
If
nobody
he gets it
did,
from Bogdan,
but
then
yeah.
we're chilling. If he still goes on about it, I'll ping in their channel and just like let everyone know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it.
This was a thing that I saw in multiple games last tournament where players would bring up the issue of rule break in the middle of a game and kind of derail things with it. and most of the
Well,
time it was just
sometimes
stuff.
it was necessary, but not all the time.
No, most of it that I saw was just stuff kind of like this. It was just like, oh, I think you're rule breaking, but then they weren't at all, and it was just misunderstanding the rules. Which I don't get. Like, I think people just didn't pay attention to the rule session, because that was pretty clear, I thought.
Well, this time we did individual rule sessions with the coaches.
No, I'm speaking
and the
last
team.
tournament. Like, last tournament,
Oh,
like,
last tournament?
we had
People
a-
didn't pay attention in the rule session.
that's
People
what I
would,
said.
like, mute and AFK.
I
Yeah.
feel like a general like rule is like if you think there's a rule break, you should say it and like maybe like say like I think there's a rule break here, but we can come back to it later.
Yeah, that
So it's
would
not
be
to, like
better.
not to hang up the game on it because like it kind of scuffs up a game if you spend like half the
Yeah.
game trying to figure out if it's a rule break.
Exactly. It
You
ruins
just like
the
you just
line
say
of
right
focus.
there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, if there is a rule break, it gets handled after. People are watching in the end. It's not going to go unnoticed.
Yeah.
The entire game doesn't need to stop and end over it.
Yeah.
If there is a rule
Yeah,
break, it gets sorted.
Yeah, I did tell my team at least if they think that there's a rule break, just screenshot it and upload it to the survey afterwards, and we'll look at it. Otherwise, like, continue.
I like the way Albin controls his chat. He's always like
Yeah, Albin.
he talks enough to get his reads in, but doesn't over talk ever, and it just always comes off engaging.
Yeah, I think Albin, like, especially when he's agent, he sounds very, very agent. When he's hacker, he sounds decently agent too. But like some games when he's agent, he just says things, and I'm like, wow, you're amazing. That's amazing. I wish my agents would say those things.
Yeah, yesterday in the team scrim, I was agent, and just like Ethan was agent as well, and he just like was just so agent that game because he was just saying the most agent things. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like as an agent, being able to do that and just have your agents just find you early on, that's how you win games.
You know, like there's two different ways to play, right? One of them is like being very, very agent and letting other people find you, and the other one is acting however the fuck you want and finding all that hackers yourself. And either of those play styles can be really good, I think.
I
It's
feel
hard
like
to
the
have
second
both.
one's very problematic, and I've seen it multiple times in the scrims I've played.
I think it depends though. Like if you find hackers early, it's amazing.
Well, the issue is people think that they can do the second strategy, and then they're wrong, and then they can't.
Oh no, you shouldn't like
they're
force
wrong.
the second strategy. I think you should like, I don't know. I think it's good to play selfishly at times, but I think you also have to do it in a way like if you're realizing that people are calling you hacker, you have to stop playing selfishly and start playing for other people.
Oh shit. What up, Audrey? And Wheels is here too. I haven't been paying attention to the Twitch chat at all. You guys are here for an exciting MINDNIGHT game. Plebs watch plebs play MINDNIGHT. True. You're so excited, good, because like this is like high energy, high octane gameplay that we got going
I
on
was saying
here.
Alex has or has not brought in useful info.
I think he's saying he
Treasy.
has, but
Don't
I
know
don't
what's going
see a
on, but
lot.
you're glad you can give away points away. Wait, can you? You're a mod.
I think maybe the ratio of useful to unuseful things is pretty high for Alex.
Last time they didn't let my mods do it. But if you can, that's great. Otherwise, I'll take your sword away and let you gamble, and then I'll give it back to you later.
No, it's just digging a hole right now in my
Node
opinion.
1 was Sunny Bogdan, position 4 and 5. And this node has been going on for around 15 minutes, I want to say.
Oh, never mind. He's saying Alex hasn't given useful information.
So it's been about 15 minutes they've been in node 2, right?
I got here at
something
10
like that, yeah.
past, and it's now
Yeah,
25 past.
I think
Still
so.
in
It's
no
been
country.
about 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, this
I
is
feel
this is
like-
the issue that always happens.
I feel like it always comes down to this. Someone has to take the initiative.
Yeah.
Like be like, all right, I this is going on for a while. I believe this person to be agent. I'm leaving hammer on them, and then it just progresses from there.
But I don't
Right,
think
it's-
like it's something that needs to be like put into the rules to stop passing and stop long games and stuff like that. Because if there's someone in the game that wants to stop passing, they can just do it. You
Yeah.
know, if people want to play a long game, they can play a long game. If they want to play a fast game, it's very easy to just play a fast game and force it. It's not hard. Like you can just refuse to pass and just prop every time. Personally,
I
that's
think
why I
the
don't want to implement the rule. I think it limits play styles. Like I like long games personally.
I think the issue though that also comes with that is those who do end up wanting to try and force it out of that may end up having the wrong conclusions jumped on them for just not wanting to spend 20 minutes in the same node.
That's on the players
Not
in the game, though.
necessarily. Like
That's
if
on the
you're reading
players.
someone as hacker or agent or whatever, just because they like, I don't know, you have to learn how to read people properly, and you have to learn to read when someone's genuinely like frustrated about a long node and when they're trying to limit info. It's just something that comes over time.
Okay.
I don't think it's like I don't want to introduce too many rules like that because it really limits play styles and plays you can make. I think.
I just think spending a lot of time on Node 2 does hurt agents. I feel like Node 2 is the one node that too much time is spent on. Because I've had it a lot of times where my initial Node 2 prop is good, but I let agents like keep talking and then all of a sudden they'll like jump at each other's throats. Happens all the damn time. It's crazy.
I've had games like that too, but I think I usually change my N2 prop early in N2. Like my first N2 will probably be good, but I'll switch it off it really early. So I don't think the length of the node has anything to do with that for me.
Yeah, I know. Like just yesterday, I had a game. Node 1 was propped out of node. It was both agents. I was the other agent, and I was gonna prop N1 plus me, and both of N1 was fine with N1 plus me. But then we passed around a couple times, and N1 just literally blew up, and they just both started accusing each other, and like
Yeah.
didn't go through for N2, and then we lost the game.
Yeah. Another thing for me is like even if we do have the right prop early on one or early on two, like if all three people are really okay with it, then it makes me switch off it. Not because the node's going a long time, it's because usually if all three people in the node are okay with it, it's not a good node.
That depends.
No, Ethan, you didn't miss
In my
anything.
experience. That's how
You
it's been.
kind of have to see like, does it make sense for all three people? Like, would you
Yeah.
come to the same conclusion if you were them?
Yeah,
But
you
it's just
missed
like when
nearly
all
20
three
minutes
people agree really
of node 2
early, and they're all
passing.
like, "Yeah, this is a great node. I'm down." No one like has any gripes about it. I'm like, "Okay, this node is not gonna, it's not gonna be good."
Well, that's to me just is more about like being too sure of it. Like agents should by nature be skeptical.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I don't
So,
like it when
yeah.
everyone's like super okay with it. Because I'm like, if no one has any questions about this node, then like why do you have no questions about this node?
There, I'll type it for you since you couldn't hear me say it on
Thank
the stream. Treasy brings up a very valid point, and it's something that I've kind of always wondered about myself. Why are all these people missing their trains?
Yeah, that is true.
I would also like to point out it's
Oh,
not just
really?
A train, it's the D train.
I've never noticed that, is it?
It is the D train.
Wow.
It's the
It
apocalypse.
is. That is so... Wow, I've never looked in the window.
It's D.
Yeah, it is.
To save money, they're just letting the trains go on continuously. You have to hop on and off as soon as you can while they're still going.
Hey, the future's rough, man. I get it.
This actually isn't a real station. This is just where the agents and hackers meet up to have their like weekly fights.
It's not even real. It's like toy trains on this little motor system as these kids play like Lego figures.
Aceway wasting his channel points with a highlighted D. Want to become
Oh,
famous?
wait, can I get you with this?
Whoa, hey guys, should I become famous and buy followers, primes, and viewers on click.ru? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck. That's my first time I've ever been promoted, some kind of like scam. I like it.
I just find it funny because the email I made, I had as a kid. It's a weird one. It's not my actual name or anything or a random character. And so every time a scam email comes my way and they try to take that first part of your email, because part of it is a real name, they end up putting like L Daniel instead of a real name. And because of it, I can immediately notice when it's a scam and when it's not. They put a name they thought was actually the case. It's always a nice way to catch out scam emails.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Otherwise, the only other way you catch them out is when they don't use your name at all. Where they're just like, oh, this has expired. Why wouldn't you tell me my name if it had?
Can we just point out that this isn't even going to... I mean, it's not even going to change. Nothing's going to happen until someone props 3 of 5, and then we're going to have a whole nother round of passing because they don't know
I
who
think they're
wants the
deciding
hammer.
who
Yep.
they want hammer on though.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's 2 of 5.
Yeah, I was going to say,
and
you
get the 3 of
you can
5.
still pass as well. Like, in the end, whoever has hammer, it's just up to passing still. Anyway.
It's not like 2 of 5 is anything meaningful.
Like,
3 of 5
doing
is
this no
meaningful in
teams-
this situation. 2 of 5 is nothing.
It feels like everyone has Bogdan as agent, but Bogdan's not getting hammered for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be on Alex to leave hammer on Bogdan here.
But in
I
the
think a
end,
lot of people had Noah as agent though. I don't know.
in the end, whoever has hammer doesn't matter at the moment because as soon as you get to 4 out of 5 rejected, you can still pass as many times as you want.
Yeah, but you still have to consider that the person after you might pass off the person that you want hammer on, or the person after you might not pass to the person you want hammer on. Like, there's a lot to consider in that regard.
True, but then 3 out of 5 still is completely fine. Then it's the same as 2 out of 5.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
2
is,
out
like,
of
let's
5
say Sunny
Well-
wants hammer on Alex right now. So
Ye-
Sunny props. Okay, wants hammer on Alex. Lloyd does not want hammer on Alex. So Lloyd passes off Alex to Noah, and then Sunny gets upset because hammer's on Alex, and then you don't know where hammer's gonna go. Or let's say Sunny doesn't want hammer on Alex, and then props, thinking Lloyd will pass. Then Lloyd props, and hammer lands on Alex. That's why
It's not
people
even.
pass
It's
a lot.
not even like 2 of 5
Ooh.
forces hammer. It's literally a nothing prop. You can just burn the prop, and then 3 of 5 forces hammer.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
No,
Why
what
are we
I-
so stuck on 2 of
my point
5?
is that it's not burning a prop though, because you have to consider what the person after you will do. I think that they
No,
should
but-
hurry a bit.
3 out of
but-
5 matters. 2 out of 5 really doesn't.
Ooh, you guys see
I
this?
wouldn't
say it
Alex is
doesn't matter.
digging
Yeah,
into Noah.
It's taking too long. Alex and Noah are going after each other.
Yeah, they are. This is
They have
something.
been for a while.
Yeah, but like Alex is digging deep finally. And then he's pushing at Lloyd too about the tunneling thing. I didn't know we were playing DVD.
I feel like in this game, Bogdan has looked quite agent.
When is that
And,
next DVD stream
Like
on this?
bottom 2 are both going after each other.
Game 42 link
It's
42.
weird.
Someday, I'm sure. I'm sure it'll happen
Okay.
one day.
Have people only calling Bogdan agent? I haven't really seen much.
Lloyd propped Bogdan like first. and then
Sonny was
assigned between
keeping
other
Bogdan
people.
in there.
Sonny kept propping Bogdan.
Because I thought Lloyd and Sunny
Alex
were
said
both calling
Bogdan
Noah
was the
agent.
single one agent. I don't know what Noah's thinking at all. I haven't been paying.
No, I'm saying like I think Lloyd and Sunny were both calling Noah one of their top agents too.
I didn't see that. I saw some like I don't trust you bit of sus on Noah.
Yeah, tunneling in this game doesn't do much except lose you the game, actually. So it's the opposite of DVD. Because if you tunnel and you're wrong, you just straight up lose. But if you tunnel and you're
Oh,
right,
God.
you can win.
I don't even want to
That's
talk
what it comes
about
down to, honestly, is like if you just have the right hacker in mind and you tunnel him down proper. No
This is why
camping
LK always
allowed
tunnel.
though. You can't camp in this game. Though I wish you could slug. Oh man, I would love to slug my fellow agents some games.
Imagine if you could camp hammer in this.
I mean, they're already camping nodes. Never mind, dude. There is camping. They've been camping this node for almost 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're sieging node 2 right now.
Yeah.
We're here for the long haul.
I take it all back.
Why is
See,
my
another
memory so
thing-
bad? I was going to compare this to like the trenches where nobody gained any an inch
Yeah.
for a year and more.
Yep. That's pretty much what it is.
Exactly, and I can't remember which goddamn fucking trench it was called. I should know this.
Well, I feel like people are making very good reads anymore either, just like all around. Like I don't see like any like reads. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's good. Good job.
Because they've been in it too
I-
long.
you know.
It's the logic loop. It's what I'm always talking about. You sit here for way too long, everything just gets wasted. You no longer have any good reads. What you thought was good isn't good anymore. What you thought was this isn't that, and like you get lost.
Thoughts in the same node.
It gives hackers so much power. It's ridiculous. And if the hackers are really good at convincing you and really good with their words, they can just take the game just from that.
Here's the first thing I've seen in a while that like actually like means anything to me, and that's what Lloyd just said.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
waiting
like
on
the
someone
first
to
good.
pick up
That's
on.
the first good thing that anyone has really said.
Yeah.
That's what the length of the node should have drawn attention to, though. Is like when nodes go on for a long time, you see more interactions, and that's what you need to pick up on. You can't really read individual people when a node goes on for a long time. You have to look at interactions more.
And Bogdan poking Sonny about what Lloyd just said. Interesting.
No, I think Bogdan has been doing that all game, where they've been like asking questions. Like I feel like Bogdan
That's
has led a
good.
lot of the conversation, which is why I think Bogdan's most agent of everyone.
Noah's been Zing a lot too, but he does come active when anybody asks him anything.
Oh,
probably
one thing
just-
I told my team that I'll tell you guys as long as you don't tell any of the other teams. If you see someone like not talking for a long time and they're not ZZZ, they're probably scrolling through chat, which probably makes them agent. Because if you scroll through chat, you don't ZZZ. If someone's ZZZ, that means they're not even scrolling through chat.
It means their
I
mouse
I have
isn't
mine
moving,
open.
is what that means. Their mouse is literally not moving, and they're technically AFK. Even though they're not, they're right there, but their hands are not on their keyboard.
I very rarely look through chat, even as agent.
I love
Well, I'm
looking
not
through
saying
chat.
like ZZZ means you are or aren't agent, but I'm saying if someone is scrolling through chat, then like that probably makes them agent more than someone who isn't.
To be fair, we've been seeing Albin scrolling through his chat a lot, and we know that's not the case here.
Yeah. But I mean, like, Alvin has been talking a lot, too. He's scrolling and finding things to talk about. He hasn't been silent for that long, but, like, Alex, for example. Alex has been quiet for a long time, but there's no ZZZ at all. I mean, to be fair, he was propping, so I guess he's moving his mouse. But if he wasn't propping, then he could have been scrolling.
I don't know what you're talking about, Luke. I'm watching the agent POV here myself. I don't know what you're talking about. The stream is watching agent POV, so...
I'm watching admin POV.
Oh, okay, yes. True. That makes sense. I get it now.
Hey, don't spoil the game. I haven't actually looked. I don't know what it is. I'm actually playing this
So
properly.
Hammer is going on Bogdan then, assuming
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
Bogdan.
Oh,
like,
we have a free
that was like
apart
the
button
only
then.
way I felt like this was gonna end. Was
Finally,
Bogdan
we
Hammer.
pushed the prop.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
I was gonna say a Soilus, literally just he's got like some duct tape, puts it on his monitor right where the roles were filled. I got no idea what it is.
No, I'm just watching the stream. All I see is what the stream says.
Yeah, there's no
See,
way
I'm
Mr.
down
Admin
with the
is
stream
agent.
chat.
The way that this whole Note 2 has gone, I feel like the only read I could make, and like this would be my strongest read, would be Noah Alex different teams. That would be just like that'd be all I could get from this.
Yeah.
Which
Because it just feels how
immediately
it is.
kind of puts a disadvantage on the agents.
Yeah, I feel like that there's a lot of like really needless conflict in these early nodes, and I've seen it a lot in the scrim games I've played. It happens all the time, and it loses games.
I think looking at the quality of their argument too, though, like neither one of them is really like trying to convince everyone else that that other person is bad. They're just like, I think you're a hacker because of blah blah blah. So they could just both be agents disagreeing. Because that happens a lot too, especially when a node goes on for a long time.
She likes to say hi to us, Tracy.
Bear in mind, they've been doing this node for
Okay.
about half hour now. Well,
Yeah,
quite literally,
um,
we're 40 minutes into the entire tournament, and they got into node 2 about 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can attest. I
Welcome-
turned up at
yeah.
2 start.
And I feel like most times that we notice it taking a long time Node 2, I feel like it means that Node 1 is bluffed. Generally. Not all the time, but like, it just feels that way because nobody wants to decide on anything.
My big thing is like I always like to look at how many people like Node 1 and how I determine if Node 1's good. when no one likes Node 1,
Whoa.
which no one seems to like Node 1 this game, which is kind of crazy.
Oh,
This is
he's
crazy right
proposed it.
here, though.
Hold on, he's proposed it.
Yeah.
He actually.
Not only that, but
Already.
this is different than Alex, and both of them trust Bogdan with the hammer here. And they're both telling Bogdan, I want something different than the other guy.
Yeah.
That's
Well, they
wild.
basically want
And
the same
Sonny
thing,
wants a
except-
third.
Yeah, but now we're on
Well, Alex and
Hammer.
Noah have the same.
Hooray, we have a
instead
hammer.
of Noah, Alex
We
wants it himself
Okay.
instead of Noah, or instead of they want to just switch themselves out. Like they're both propping Lloyd Bogdan. Their prop is essentially the same, but without.
No,
them.
Alex was Alex Sonny Bogdan. Noah was Noah
I thought it
Lloyd
was Alex
Bogdan.
Lloyd Bogdan.
It was way different.
I just want to say I realized why Hammer has such a big impact now, and I kind of
Yeah?
brain farted. that
No,
before.
yeah.
It's been a long day for me.
I think Lloyd Bogdan are just like the top two agents right now. Like it just seems that way. They just like they're getting propped the
Yeah.
most.
Just
I can't
Sonny,
wait.
Alex, and Noah are just all looking kind of risky. Bogdan and Lloyd look to be the
Does
safest
Sonny
ones.
want right side? What kind of prop is that?
Bogdan straight up calling Sonny a hacker. You're my number one hacker.
He's a Jin.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
Oh.
If he picked Noah, they accepted that. Would have been game over for Lloyd and Sonny.
Okay,
No
it's up.
chance.
It's up.
But I honestly think the way that node went, bottom 3 would have been a bad prop. Just
Just
like
have to make sure it's ready.
in theory.
I'm just
I
throwing it
wonder
out.
how. I wonder if Albin's going to take the risk.
I don't like what Alvin's saying right now.
I'm kind of worried because if he bluffs this one, he's more likely to be trusted, but it's going to be way too big a risk for Node 3. At the same time, if Bogdan's already considering swapping Lloyd for Noah, then chances are they already lose this unless he bluffs it.
Single bluffing N2 is almost never the play unless you were in N1.
I thought of a
Ooh, you hate to see
really
it.
interesting like hacker line because I
Yeah,
kind
what
of had a situation kind of like similar to this yesterday.
There you go.
Hack node 1 by your partner. Node 2, you get hammer. You prop yourself and your partner. You secure it, so double hacker secure N2. You secure node 3, and then node 4 is a reprop of node 2, and you hack it.
Yeah, that's
It's
a pretty
so
good play.
That's
And
that's
chances
such
are
a
that
good
it's
idea,
not-
Lex.
Chances are that third person in N2/N whatever, chances are that they're not gonna like leave out both of their people from that node for N5. So
Oh, yeah, I
You
mean,
have one agent popping up.
it's so hard to see.
yeah. Alvin was talking about some strategy before. He was like, if I get hacker, what if I bluff N4, or what if I no? He said his strat was like to fail rule 1 on N4. I was like, Alvin, do not fail rule 1 on N4 if you're hacker, please.
There we go.
How is that ever good? What?
I don't know. I think it was a meme.
That's such a good idea, Lex. I love it.
N4, if you fail node 1, you're either losing
Wait,
or
I gotta
like,
reposition it. Hold on.
or like long
Exactly.
gaming or
There we
long
go.
gaming.
Exactly. Exactly.
Not sure I could disagree more.
Dude, fucking that's a VIP idea right there. Can I VIP Lex?
He's already mod.
I don't care, dude. Can I VIP yet? Because I know, like, eventually I can. No, I don't have VIPs still, because I'm a bad streamer. Feels bad.
The way the node 2 went, I guess, I would just really feel like Bogdan's agent.
I love it. Wheels had enough time to cook lunch and start eating it the entire node 2.
Who did?
No, Wheels. Wheels is hanging out. Gotta build a community according to Twitch. Yeah. That's the part that I don't really care about doing, honestly. I still have to make my own, like, streamer Discord. No, I made a community. It's just not like for streaming. It's for being friends.
I think this is a mistake from Alvin.
I didn't like that note too.
Gotta
I
get
just
those
wanna-
6 seasons in a movie. True.
I really think no 2 should have been top.
I would have preferred right side if I was in this game. Just the way like Alex and Noah, like wildly different.
Yeah, I
Oh shit! I forgot to switch my audio device.
Like it makes it tough for sure, but like if I was like Bogdan, Lloyd, or Sonny, and like I saw Alex and Noah, I'd be like, man, they aren't agents together. One of them's a hacker.
see. I think this is a mistake by Albin and everyone in this game because shadowing 2 from a hacked N2 is just bad. Like
What did he
that's like
shadow?
he shadowed himself and Noah, and that's just bad.
Wasn't
I'm in this-
N2
if I'm
Lloyd
in this
Alex
game-
Bogdan?
Was it Alex?
Yeah,
Was I
it was
wrong?
I was
Oh.
Alex. Alex was an N2.
I'm wrong
yeah.
then. I for some reason thought I was Noah.
I was like, Alvin didn't do that.
Yeah, I was like,
Well,
that's
actually,
really bad. I
right,
can't believe
right.
no one's saying anything. Like, why is no one saying anything? about
Wait,
it?
I thought it was what? No, I thought right there with you. Okay,
No,
Oh,
it's
yeah, we
Lloyd
just
Alex
wanted to
Bogdan.
seem to tell you
I'm,
were
like,
wrong.
I thought it was
99%
Noah,
sure,
not
'cause they-
Alex.
No, he shadowed Lloyd Alex Bogdan, then he flipped Lloyd for Noah, and then he flipped back to Lloyd from Noah. I'm
Oh.
99% sure.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
just thought that. Yeah, he went from Noah to Lloyd there.
That's right.
I'm glad
yeah.
I wasn't the only one. I thought.
Yeah,
that,
no, like I wasn't paying attention. I guess I was too
I was
busy.
like, why isn't anyone giving
making
him
Well,
shit?
fun.
he did change someone to Noah, so it makes sense because Noah was like a eye-catching thing, I guess.
I kind of like Sonny as agent currently.
Oh god, this hurts my
Bogdan
brain
doesn't.
so much playing like this. This is why I just play to fuck shit up. This is why I've lost a game in
Wait,
1 minute because
do
I
you-
refused hammer like an idiot.
do you like to play like I used to play, where you'd be the jukebox and then you just type songs out?
No,
Uh,
I do a lot of voice chat customs. Changes the dynamic quite
Yeah.
significantly because then suddenly you've got to read the voice as well.
and that's kind of tough for a lot of people, I've noticed.
Oh yeah, I've had
No
Zoe.
one was prop Sonny Bogdan out of Node.
We do a lot of
This is
mainframe
so
voices,
ridiculous.
and it can be really tough sometimes.
Well,
It's a
he
lot of
liked
fun.
right side for Note 2 and it didn't happen.
Nose
so-
throwing.
I mean, I've played voice chat with Zoe before, and Zoe lost that because it was just much harder to read it. Like in the end, this is difficult enough reading it from text, but as soon as you involve voice, it's much harder. In some respects, in some ways, it's easier.
Actually, if that node went through, if Bogdan's agent and that node goes through and it gets hacked, then Noah would be confirmed agent for Bogdan. So from Noah's
Actually,
POV,
yeah.
if Noah,
But
if
there-
Noah
there's
trusts
really
Bogdan,
no
that is
reason
good prop,
to hack
actually.
that if you're a hacker in that node.
Not really, actually. See,
Because then you just hit
shouldn't
right
be propping out
side
of
and then
her.
that just hacks.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad of a prop as like in the context. I don't think it's as bad as it would be otherwise. Though.
Are we
I mean,
watching
the
streams
issue is-
reloaded?
The issue is I can't see any of the top 3 seeing that as an agent prop.
That's fair. But the thing is, if Bogdan is agent, and if Noah sees Bogdan as agent, and Bogdan props that and it gets hacked, Bogdan knows that Noah is agent, right? So other agents, if they trust Bogdan, they trust Noah.
The issue
Okay.
is the trust in Bogdan is fading very quickly from top 2.
Yeah.
And I don't know where Alex's head's at. It just seems like Noah trusts Bogdan, and that might be it.
That's what I'm saying. It's dependent on Bogdan. Like when Noah's prop made is like assuming Bogdan is agent. Agents win that game. I think.
Yeah, but I
Assuming
don't,
people
I
see
don't
that
like,
Bogdan's
I don't
agent.
like making props that are dependent on a read being correct.
Hmm.
You want to do something that's objectively good?
Is anybody else in the stream right now just waiting to hear, hey guys, it's Tomlin, and let's get right to the news? Because like that's all that I'm hearing right now. It's Streamers Reloaded song. It's the song that he always plays before it's like the streamer drama that isn't like actual like toxic like Keemstar. Streamers
Yeah.
Reloaded.
I'm just waiting for a random a soundboard to start doing some shit.
This just in, XQC did a backflip. And this is, yeah, see, this is the beat that he plays for the song right here. You hear it, yeah. It's a good show. I recommend everybody watch it that's into streaming. Like, he covers a lot of cool things. It's where I learned about all the, like, simp drum.
Of, like,
yeah, exactly,
a third-party streamer mode being revealed or released for MINDNIGHT. Do you think that'd be a good idea? Or do you think that'd be something
They
that
said
would
they were
happen
going to do that
eventually?
one day ago.
There's not been
No,
any
like-
talk so far. I've not actually even heard of any kind of discussion about it. There may
It would
have
be
been
really cool
one.
if you got spectators.
Yeah. I've not actually ever talked about it before.
I want to say, like, Phil talked to either Marcel or Francisc about it when we set up the first
I thought that was
tournament.
like straight up streamer mode though. What I mean is like spectator mode. Like,
Oh,
people can join the
spectator! I
lobby
didn't.
as a
Okay,
spectator.
yeah, that would be really cool too. But streamer mode
Yeah.
as well would be really cool.
Yes.
I'm not sure, to be honest. In the end, things are well, with MINDNIGHT actually starting to hit its lowest peak in a long time. Actually,
Yeah.
it's not exactly motivating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ivan's going to be able to actually do some programming stuff in March, and I'm trying to convince him about some things to avoid doing, even though they affect my department. That's the exact reason why I'm trying to get him to avoid doing it.
Mhm.
Wow.
For example, a lot of stuff that relates to like how making skin special and shit and stuff. And I'm like, if you're going to be able to program, the last thing I want you to do is start programming shit for skins, because that's going to make this look worse on us. If features are added that are related to skins rather than UI or gameplay related.
Fuck off, Pace. I'm not gonna talk over people just to like say, "Oh, Pace misspelled agents." Ha ha ha. Like.
How difficult do you think it would be to include a spectator?
Then it's like this Pace, and now I'm talking over people still, and now it's scuffed on the VOD because you hear two voices, and now you gotta listen to one of them. Do you see how chaotic this is? This is why I don't like doing it, because like it's kind of rude. He's talking, you don't know what I'm saying, you don't know what he's saying. Do you get it? Should I stop now or keep going? Okay.
That's fair. Well, if it's not too difficult, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. At the moment, I've got a Google document where I've listed all my ideas and suggestions for the game. Mainly, these are not skin ones.
Hell yeah.
There's only one skin-related one, and it's based on previewing skins in the store. That way, it's just clearer to see what you're getting if you were to buy it. You could actually see how it looks in each color, preview each animation, that sort of thing, and even organize the list of skins and such alphabetically by release, that kind of thing.
Luke, I have a important question. Did you make the pro gamer skin, or is that community made?
That was made by Trade, me for Halo.
That thing is my favorite skin right now. I love it. It is so cool.
Yeah. He made it ages ago. He made it before I joined the team.
Okay.
But it was always hidden in the game files. Two users actually managed to cheat some of the code and actually unlock it, even though it was an unfinished skin hidden in the files. And when Diode reported that to us, I got Marcel to check in. We found two users who had it, and we put them at negative 200k credits and removed the skin.
Nice. That's gonna take a while to pay off. That's a big debt in my night.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking, because I could identify one of the people actually, and it's someone who's quite known. But
that's up to you. We would love to know, honestly. Like, because I think we're all dying
in the end,
to know.
In the end, one of them actually has been forgiven for it. Actually.
Oh, he repented for his sins.
Yeah, actually, he ended up admitting. It was Ivan, actually.
Not
Ivan
familiar with
did
him
it.
myself.
Community manager.
Ooh, okay.
Profit bot.
Yeah.
Oh, Profit
He
Bot.
was-
Okay.
Yeah, he was the one who.
Yikes.
He was one of the ones who did it, but the team eventually forgave him. He admitted it to the team himself on his own, so
And then who
he
was
didn't try to keep it secret.
who was the other one?
The other one was some random player I don't know,
Uh,
but I felt like I recognized the name Profitbot, but I didn't know Profitbot was IV2B. So
Wait, Alex just said
Are
Noah
you guys
hacked in
reading the
too, and
game?
Noah was
no.
in N2.
What did he say?
Oh my god. Alex said I think Noah hacked N2. Noah wasn't in N2.
Oh, he was like me and LK. That's
Noah
amazing.
said thought it was bottom.
He's in the game and
Wait.
can hover over it.
Yeah.
wait, who said it again? Who
Alex
said
did.
that?
Alex.
Who
Oh,
was in the
Alex.
node? That is so.
Alex said he thought the node was bottom. If I was in this game, I would not be propping Alex again. And
Yeah.
5, if that.
Alex just hard through with that.
Well, Noah and Alex are still at each other's
Alex
throats,
totally throwing
and they
now.
have been for 2 nodes.
It's funny
I
because
wouldn't
earlier
even,
Noah was
like,
throwing.
I wouldn't be
bet-
like, I'm not propping Alex because he made a mistake. I'd be like, I'm not propping Alex because clearly he's not paying attention to the game, and agents pay attention to the game.
Yep.
I just
if
I'm
it
just
does take it out.
imagining just Sonny and Lloyd casually high-fiving without knowing, just silently.
What Alex needs to do to like gain trust back at this point is be like super fucking honest and like beg for forgiveness. Be like, okay, here's what happened. Bogdan switched to Noah last second, so that's what I thought went through. And since I thought I knew the node, I didn't feel the need to hover over it. Something like that. Otherwise, like him being dead right now is not
don't know
helping
if
his
they're
case.
coming back. I don't know if there's any coming back from that one.
I think well, if he said something maybe, but right now he's like not trying to come back. He's just kind of like letting it
Well,
happen.
no, they're having to pause at them right now because Bogdan said he'd be right back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, I'll be back in a jiffy, and Lloyd says pause. So, yeah, see, games pause, stop making reads.
Yeah, but even before that, I mean.
Yeah.
Alex wasn't really. He was just like, oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
But back to the thing with Ivan. In fact, that's been sorted. There's no hard feelings towards him at all. In fact, he's done programming that's actually helped. So, you know, and after some time, he got it multiplied by negative 0.1, I think, or -1 actually. And in doing so, it converted all the negative remaining amount into a positive amount. I was mentioning some of the ideas, I think, for Mind Night. I had a UI and the notepad because although the team had already started some ideas on the notepad, I also had my own ideas on how it could work. I kind of considered to implement pets as part of a visual aesthetic for the notepad. So, like, depending on what pet you had, it would actually alter the slight kind of aesthetic of the notepad without ruining the essential information of it. Also, how Notepad could work. I thought there'd be multiple tabs within the Notepad. So there'd be one for notes and one for quotes. Notes you manually write in, and you get a new message for each one you put in. And quotes, you'd have a pin icon on the left side of the chat, the regular chat, and if you click that, you'll pin that message into your quotes section.
That would be so
Oh, that's really
sick.
cool.
That way, if someone said something, you could literally use that and
Yeah.
actually get the option to
Literally
that's super,
quote
super
them.
cool.
Yeah.
kind of
Honestly,
that
that'll
plan.
make it so much easier for
So-
hackers to defend themselves, which is really cool.
Are you saying that you
Yeah.
could just like click on the saved quote and it would enter it in chat as well and like
Yeah,
have the whole
that
quote?
exactly.
Like, oh man,
I'm just thinking of that
that'd
like
be so cool.
I can't remember what game it's called, but it's the one
Town
where it's
of
like
Salem.
objection, and you just
Oh
Yeah,
no,
you
that's
just see
different.
the guy pointing,
That's
and you
Phoenix.
just have the quote appear as Phoenix. That's
Phoenix
it.
Wright, agent.
Yeah.
Or not agent, attorney.
Yeah, Phoenix Wright Attorney, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thought with
Okay.
that feature. Just the kind of satisfaction to put someone in their place and call them out with a direct quote like that is far more empowering. Just thought it was
Oh,
a cool
yeah.
little.
Because I mean, that's already what you kind of have to do in the game. You know, you have to be like, oh well, so and so said something sus, and they're like, well, what exactly did they say? And you have to like roll back chat and quote him.
Yeah.
That happens all the time, so that would make it so amazing, like streamlined.
Yeah, it was the quotes feature was actually something the team hadn't considered, so I'm glad I actually thought of that part. They also mentioned for them that they wanted to make the notepad a separate tab in the chat, and that they want to make the UI more flexible, where you could drag windows out and put them together and move them
Oh,
around.
that's really cool.
Yeah, so I
Because if
also
you tab into vote history, you might miss like a bit of chat, or if you tab into like notepad, you might miss a bit of chat. So that'd be cool.
yeah. The other part would be that suddenly it would also clutter the words at the top for the title for each tab. So I mentioned making a symbol that would represent the ones you're not tabbed into. That way, for like vote history, you'd have a symbol representing that. You have a symbol representing notepad, a symbol representing quotes, and a symbol representing chat, and they'd turn into the full name once you selected the tab. Just a
That's a
small
really good
little
idea.
thing, but it makes it a lot cleaner, I feel. There's banning and penalties because recently, when I've had to be administering bans from manual reports, I've learned some things I think need to be changed for just the dev's end.
Okay, I'm on the node taking too long bandwagon for N3. I don't think N3 ever needs to take this long.
None of the nodes need to take as long as some of these games
I think
do.
3-man. I think
This is already
3-man
an hour
nodes,
game.
3-man nodes are more
Yeah.
acceptable. Yeah, I think 3-man nodes are more acceptable, but there's no reason for N3 to take this long. Like N3 is 99% gonna be secured, especially in this game with like these passive players. I don't think anyone in this game is aggressive enough to hack N3 other than Arsenal, to be honest. And Arsenal, I feel like usually secures anyway.
Do we want to take bets on what N3 is actually going to be?
Well, now, yeah,
Whether you
like,
actually-
what if it goes
honestly-
wild, and what if it's 2 people from Node 2, and the hacker's in there, like, oh man.
I honestly think if a hacker is in this N3, they're going to hack it just because they don't want the game to take forever.
I want Lloyd Sonny for Node 3. There you go, I said it.
Fall Guys? Alex plays Fall Guys, confirmed. He'd be your perfect Fall Guy.
Yeah, we're going to take a brief intermission on this
Yeah,
channel
we're
to
gonna-
play
we're
some
gonna-
Fall Guys.
Play a quick round and get a crown.
We'll be back at the conclusion of Node 3.
Oh, I've got a funny story actually related to MINDNIGHT and Fall Guys. When Fall Guys started getting really popular, Francis wanted me to make a Fall Guys connected skin just so we
That'd
could
be really cool.
so we could share it on Twitter to see if they'd respond and get us promoted a bit.
That would have been dope.
I made it, but he never got back to me.
Oh no.
So sad.
And not too long after that time, he also suggested a shop rework. And in this rework would actually make the shop more like the way it works in Fall Guys, where there's a limited few options every so often that rotates.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That would
I don't know
work
if that
if
would
like
work
there was
so
a
well.
population though, because the game's so dead. That would like really hurt. I think. I think the
Not to
freedom of
mention
skins
there's
is
a-
really nice right now.
Yeah, not to mention there's a lot of things Francis wants done for the game, but we are not getting them done fast enough. We've been working on the 3 cross-platform stuff for ages and months, and it's still not done.
Yeah, I remember like when I first started playing, well, not when I first started playing, but like a couple months into when I started playing, people were like, "Oh yeah, the web version's coming out eventually." That was like almost a year ago.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it is still being worked on, but it's slow. It's
Yeah. But I
unfortunate.
do think when the web version comes out, I think most like Steam players are gonna go into tournaments more, because I think web players are gonna be a lot more casual, and there's gonna be a lot more DCs. I think.
Yeah, but the concern me and Ivan had that we kind of wanted to bring up early on, but I don't think were quite listened to as much as we probably would have hoped, was that it would probably cause more problems than solve. Because in the end, who's going to play the game on our website if they don't even know about the website and the game?
Yeah.
Not to mention that it's going to make alt accounts more problematic than usual as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And in the end, what does it bring you to the play? It's just another platform to play on. And even then, it's just in browser. It's not actually bringing anything really new. I think at the same time, Patreon support's being worked on for it to go with it.
Yeah, honestly, Wheels, I feel like you're a pro at voice, and I don't think you've ever played it, but the 2 quotes you've said are literally what like I always say in those voice games. fuck you, you're a hacker, and stop propping so-and-so. He's a hacker, stop it. Just stop. And then everybody thinks I'm
you talk
admin.
yourself into those. Even when you're a hacker, you're like, oh, I know it's them. You should put me in.
When I'm a hacker, I don't really talk about being a node. I just get in there and then I yell I'm scripty.
I think Bogdan is looking so agent right now. Like, let's
You
not
just
argue
want it.
over that is really good for an agent to say, because I think hackers like to encourage arguments.
Sorry, there was a fruit fly. I tried killing it and I missed several times.
Wheels,
there's
thanks
some-
for stopping by, man. You take it easy.
Dude,
I-
Bogdan is like screaming agent right now.
I've got some other changes noted down here, such as more options for customizing customs.
Yeah.
So for example, reintroducing red as a variant for customs only,
Yes.
and allowing players to actually choose which color they want to be in the custom. If
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Oh man,
have
I'd
the
always be
options-
green.
Red Santa.
then have the option to choose how many hackers will be randomly chosen, where the default is set to standard, along with the number of players with the role of scripty, nuker, and admin in the mainframe mode.
Have you guys
You
ever
can have
thought
more
about
fun.
like newer modes? Because I remember back in the AMA there was one
Oh,
that was
I
brought
was
up.
gonna. I'm gonna get to that very soon. I've got a very detailed one actually.
Because there was
then we
always
have
one that
choose
I loved. Sorry.
Then we've got choose the number of players needed in each node team and the amount of procs before hammer, and how many hackers must hack for each node to be hacked individually. And then allow female variants of skins when setting naming convention to nicknames, because if you set it to nicknames, it actually disables it. And with skins like Leo, there's a drastic change in the male and female version. That's you can't get the female version unless you go with regular names.
What's the male version of Sparrow?
Sparrow.
I don't think she gets one. I think she's always a lady of the night.
Sparrow with a dick.
Hey, that's progressive.
I don't even recall a skin called Sparrow. Am I missing something?
Yeah, no,
The
that's
one
the
with the
lady
boobs.
with the leg. The like
Lady with
sexy
the nice
looking
boobs.
lady with the blonde
the
hair.
dress, the hair, the boobs.
And she jiggles.
Yeah, and you press
The one
7.
that John's
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Now the Marcel skin, right? Yeah, I forgot it was called Sparrow.
Wait, is that a Friday night for Marcel?
Yeah, Marcel's made 2 skins, Mr. Hacker and Sparrow.
Dude, Mr. Hacker, one of my OGs. I love that. Love that show.
It's not much too much, Mr. Rope.
I haven't watched the last 2 seasons. I need to. But I loved what I've seen of that show.
And the final custom change I put in there is customize any timer, whether it is to a large maximum time or a small maximum time, or even having infinite as an option. In the end, it allows customs to be more wacky and feel more like it's customizable, and you can still play normally if you wish.
Yeah, that would be fun, just to mix everything up. Keep
Imagine
it
having
fresh.
5-minute no's, and if you don't accept a proposal before the 5 minutes is up, you lose
Just
the hack.
autos? No, it just autos.
No, you just lose the hackers.
Uh,
Time is up, you lose!
that would actually, yeah, that would make sense. That would be like, yeah, like hackers have gotten, like, the lore would be cool, because it'd be like hackers have gotten so good that, like, now your time frame, like, you have a
Hackers are
time.
becoming
You
ingrained
remember
in the game.
mainframe? Well, welcome to time frame.
I've got 2 new modes in this document as well. One was designed by me, the other was designed by Amy, who has left the community. Amy's one was we nicknamed Anti-Frame. So there'd be, as usual, 5 players minimum, 4 roles. The 2 new roles keep the hacker to agent ratio as normal. There'd be 2 blind agents, 1 blind antivirus, who is an ally to the agents, 1 hacker, and then 1 Trojan, who is an ally to the hacker. I'm gonna make sure you guys can still hear me, right? I'm
Yeah.
worried I'm losing connection.
No, you're
Right.
good. You're solid. Come through.
Because not too long ago I did lose connection a bit, so I have to be sure. Antivirus is the equivalent of Nuker, but for agents. He has no idea who the agents or hackers are and must nuke Trojan to win the game, but only if the hackers hack 3 nodes.
I like that concept.
Additionally, Trojan is a hacker role, however, it cannot hack and disables allied hackers in the same node from being able to hack. Both hackers and Trojan know each other's identities, but not who out of the agents is the antivirus. So basically, you have this now subtle mind gaming of you want to make sure that there's one person you don't want to be in the same node with because he'll screw you from being able to hack.
It's kind of like anti-mainframe.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why it's called anti-frame.
That'd
I
be
kinda like
very
that idea.
interesting. Yeah, I like it.
That's just initial concepts. It's not been developed further since. And to be honest, I'm surprised if it will be again because, like I said, Amy's left the community now.
I'm just thinking, would it be better if you have the main hacker dude, the virus, if he instead of not procking hackers, if he procs all hackers in the node?
Maybe. In the end, that I don't know how much we're going to touch on that, but there's one I've designed which has been refined, and I've shown Nazim this one before as well, and it's getting positive feedback so far. I call this one Haywire. 5 players minimum, 2 roles as usual.
Oh, I got to interrupt you. We've got to 3 of 5 on node 3.
Oh, we're actually
You had a
moving.
proposal.
All refused the vote.
Flex.
Dude, oh my god, if I was a certain player, I would be getting so angry right now.
We've been in node 3
I
for
also
25
liked
minutes.
Lloyd's prop last. He wanted Noah.
Yeah, that's who he should be propping.
I don't want Noah, I want Sonny.
But Sunny has kind of fallen off in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like, Sunny, is just pushing one prop and really isn't getting propped by anybody. Like, for me, they're just not my
I'm
prop.
going to get bogged down the hammer again.
Slimy agent. I like that. He's just a
I think-
slimy agent.
Oh, Bogdan's getting hammer again.
Who
This
said
is
that?
going to turn
Alex
up.
said that about Noah. He said, I just think Noah's a slimy agent.
What does slimy mean?
It's like scummy, but not so, vicious.
It's not
Yeah,
a scummy
kind of
hacker.
sneaky.
It's just
Yeah.
like
Kind of sneaky,
Just like that,
a
yeah.
Jew. I'm kidding. of
Oh,
course.
Jesus, that's a TOS, brother. Come on. I'm getting banned here?
I really want the weaker hacker to get propped here and hack, because then hackers will win.
Alright, Bogdan, let's see it.
Elwood probably should have accepted Noah's prop. Not that it would have mattered too much. But...
I don't think he meant slimly, though. Lex.
So,
He
so,
misspelled it.
so we got Bogdan on hammer with 33 seconds to go. Jesus.
Because, I don't
And
think
he
he would call
in
somebody
78
slim.
minutes.
He's a slim agent.
Somehow the person who proposed node 2 gets hammer for node 3. How is this
Yeah.
occurring?
Well, Bogdan has been most agent consistently, I think.
Yeah, and now he's just saying, "Why leave hammer on me if you like Lloyd more?" And Noah says, "I don't," but he still did.
This game
Well,
is
he
scuffed.
said I think he said he doesn't
God.
like Lloyd more, but
be.
I don't know. I think he was propping the 3rd person that he likes to kind of show his 3, leaving hammer on. I don't know.
Well, he likes right side. He said all along he likes his right side until right side is proven wrong.
Who said that?
Noah. He's
It's
literally
any
been
three.
pushing
No,
for
Noah's been saying Lloyd Bogdan, Noah agent.
Yeah, that's
He's-
been
he-
his prop.
he
That's
should
been his prop for a while now. So he just doesn't care which one of them gets hammer for this node. I think he likes them equally.
Oh, he's flipped from right side. He now saying that. I don't like that. I just don't think that makes sense.
I love this commentary. So true.
Yeah.
So true.
It's telling me that Noah's pushed 2 different things and got his way.
Oh, don't say that. Don't like that.
I take it this might be a good time for me to continue talking about the haywire mode.
Yeah, I definitely think now would be a good time because we're probably in for another half an hour node.
Yeah.
Okay, so standard number of roles and ratio: 3 blind agents, 2 hackers, and this changes with 7 to 8 people. Hackers gain a new ability, which is the namesake and focus of the mode: haywiring. Haywiring is when a hacker outside of a node mission can hack the node. This can only be done by the hackers outside of an accepted node mission while at 0 or 1 hacked nodes. A hacker who haywires has their identity as hacker revealed permanently to every player. Revealed hackers can still be voted in for node teams, propose teams, pass proposals, and can still accept or refuse a team. Hackers who haywire are given a forced choice to reveal an agent inside the mission. If none is selected, the game will randomly choose one. If an ally hacker is inside the node and chose to hack, but the same node also gets haywired, no hackers inside who hacked will be revealed as detected. If multiple hackers simultaneously haywire the same mission, only one of them is chosen at random to be revealed. The revealed hacker's agent choice is the agent that gets revealed. A second haywire is possible as long as only one node is hacked and it is a 7 to 8 man game. This hacker is revealed, but another agent in this node mission is also revealed. You cannot select an already revealed agent from a previous haywire. A hacker who previously haywired in a 7 to 8 man match cannot haywire a second time. It must be a new ally to haywire, leaving only one hacker unrevealed. In 7 to 8 man matches, at node 4, it is still required to have 2 hackers inside the node to compromise it. However, haywiring this node regardless of how many hackers are inside will result in a hacked node, revealing the haywire hacker and another agent, unless it is only that one revealed agent in the mission. In 7 to 8 man matches, if a revealed hacker is inside an accepted mission, allies cannot haywire it. Agents are still blind as usual unless they are revealed as aforementioned. And that's the mode haywire. I spent quite a while working out all the kinks and details and such and discussing it with others to see how it sounds conceptually. And this new ability for hackers, as you can tell, is a double-edged sword. So it's not just a benefit for the hackers, it's also a benefit for the agents.
I'm sorry, when you were explaining the haywire thing, I was kind of reading chat, so I zoned out a bit. Could you explain that part again for me?
Essentially, at 0 and 1 hack nodes, I believe, you can hack it from outside, but you reveal yourself as hacker, and you give the agent.
That's cool. That's like the Juggernaut mode that somebody mentioned a long time ago that I loved.
Yeah, and it also reveals one agent at the same time as well.
Yeah. That is scary spicy. I like it.
Yeah,
not to be
that's
confused
also
with
why
Scary Spice, by the way.
It's also why I nicknamed it Haywire, because that implies it's a very chaotic kind of nature, especially to default. And when someone can hack from outside the node and cloak their ally who's inside the node, even if they chose to hack it, because you normally, if someone hacks it, says 1 hacker detected or 2 hackers detected. That message no longer appears if that node gets haywired, meaning you can basically cloak your ally from hacking the node.
It sounds to me that I feel like that would only really work well with 7 or 8. I don't know if you said it works with 5 or 6, but I don't see it working very well with 5.
Kind of like mainframe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, and I do partially agree. In the end, I want to make sure it's enabled for both, but I've also mentioned you can only haywire once in 5 to 6 man, but you can haywire twice in 7 to 8.
I feel like personally, if I was playing a 5 or 6 man and I had one confirmed hacker, I feel like, and a confirmed agent, I feel like agents are just
game
winning most
over.
of the time. Yeah.
Because of the population, yeah. But I mean, like
With
I don't
3
know.
At
hackers,
the
I
same
think
time,
that's a lot of fun.
it's an option that doesn't have to be taken.
Yeah.
And in some cases, you may never know if it's truly
yeah.
hacked or not. Not to mention the complications that haywiring has, because you have no idea if they hacked because nobody was in that node, or if they're hiding their ally inside the node.
I think it would just be like for us vets, okay, we would find it kind of like that, but like the majority community would have a way different experience.
Oh, I think it's a very fun.
Yeah. But like Luke, like when we play mainframe, we can't do 5 or 6 because like it's bullying the hackers at that point. It's sad.
Oh, 6-man mainframe is great.
No,
compared to
it's so
bully bot.
sad.
It's so
Oh,
fun.
that one's even worse because then you bully the
I've done 6-man mainframe as well as 7-man. I do prefer, like, I will never do it with 5. 5 I think is too little. 6 feels somewhat reasonable.
5 is
still.
a man's game. 5-man mainframe is a man's game.
If
you can win as admin in a 5-man game, you're doing something right with the game.
Yeah,
I played one 5-man mainframe game ever, and I was hacker, and I knew admin node 1 after 3 props. It was that easy. And it was so ridiculous. It was like, I might as well have just said, all right, we don't need to play anymore. I know who the admin is. Offended.
Yeah.
What is the point of 5-man mainframe?
I think it's just to allow players to actually play the mode even at 5 people.
I saw an Asian streamer playing with his friends, and agents actually won. So some groups connect. It's because like you gotta understand, like we are MINDNIGHT nerds, so like we play on a different level than the majority play, like general populace. Like we really do.
This is true.
Like we fucking break shit down, and like we're like the stat nerds in MMOs, except we don't have to deal with numbers, which is great.
We think Alex is outed.
Yeah. Well, for the first tournament, we did deal with numbers. We had those stats that TJ put out.
Well, I mean, yeah, we deal with numbers with percents and odds, sure, but like that's not what I meant when I said that. Because in MMOs, you gotta like min-max your stats and numbers. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, well, you gotta min-max your nodes, you know.
Yeah.
I just realized now, because you're back, you probably didn't know. That would probably be why you didn't say anything when I explained about the haywire mode.
Oh yeah, you told me about that before.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Yeah.
Issue is Ivan doesn't want to touch making a new mode because he doesn't want to risk breaking the entire game.
Oh, that's
I would
sad.
imagine that anything would technically
a new mode would get people to play again, just like mainframe did. Because when mainframe was released, we saw a huge population increase again. It drew old players back.
Wait, what is Sunny's prop here?
That's why I've always said we need more modes in this game because it'll revitalize it.
This is literally the worst prop of the game.
They've been pushing that prop. They've been pushing that prop. Lloyd started it, and now Sunny's doing it.
I think Bogdan and Noah are pretty agents. I think it's clear that at least one of them is like agent for sure. So leaving both of them out is really, really bad.
You missed it.
Sunny's been saying it since Note 2, and they really haven't given the greatest reason.
That's really bad. Sunny's like outing as hacker if that's the case.
Nobody's propping Sunny really.
They haven't for a long time, ever since Bogdan was calling him a hacker, I feel like.
Yeah, well, I thought Bogdan was gonna prop Sunny potentially for N3. I thought it was between Noah and Sunny to go into N3 for Bogdan.
Bogdan still hasn't really looked at Sunny much, because right after Note 2, he just kind of said, okay, I think like Noah's my agent out of the two of you, because he already called Sunny a hacker. Like, Sunny was his number one hacker, so... I don't think he's re-examined Sunny at all. I think he's still written him off as hacker.
Yeah. I think Sunny should have been pushing for right side here, though. If they're hackers.
I mean, he was doing that earlier, but then he changed. And change is always a good thing to see.
I know why he changed, and I think it's a bad reason, but I don't want to say because it might reveal what his role is.
That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
I think N3 gives us nothing watching them. it
Oh, I
it
don't
was
like
really
that Lloyd is still
Yeah.
pushing at Alex for the mistake that he made earlier, because no one else is really pushing at that.
there was nothing
Yeah,
to gain to hack in 3. There
but,
was
like,
literally nothing.
out of Alex and Bogdan in Lloyd's POV, it does seem like Alex would be the hacker out of the two of them. So it makes sense that he's bringing it up again just to like solidify Alex hacker.
Well,
Mm.
actually, I think Lloyd earlier said, he's saying him and Noah agents, and then either Sunny or Bogdan. He's choosing between those two. He just has Alex hacker.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah,
he
but
wrote
I
them
don't
off.
He has said that
Yeah,
Alex
but
is out.
writing after you write them off, I don't think you should bring attention back to something that they did because you've already like written them off.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
it
know.
makes
I
you look
always,
bad
I
doing that.
usually do agent or hacker. I'll bring it back up and just really like keep them
They're
down,
also
keep them
jumping on
pinned
the fact
down.
that Alex
I
was,
think if they do new things, you should bring it up. But I think if it's like an old thing, like this was like 20 minutes ago that this happened. I think if you're still
Yeah,
bringing it up,
But
it's, like,
people
a
will
bit
bring up
too much.
like Node 1 shit in Node 5
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
but-
time.
Yeah, I
So,
think it's
I don't
always a
think
bit
it
dodgy.
matters,
It's
like-
like you're basically desperate to cling for some.
Yeah,
direction.
exactly. That's what it
Yeah,
is,
that's what it looks
really.
like to me, yeah.
And like that's just
I think
how.
it's bad as agent or a hacker though. As agent, it's bad to focus on one mistake or one thing because like sometimes agents make mistakes as well, and you can't just write someone off as hacker for like one big thing that they did.
Yeah.
And then as hacker, you can't do that because then it makes you look like you're just trying to push them as hard as you can, without like any reasoning really.
Yeah, see what I've always liked to think that I do is like just push them. If they start responding differently and like they could be agent and I'm wrong, then I'll be more lenient and I won't ride them so much. But if they don't show me
Yeah.
any kind of agent source, like I'm just gonna keep riding them and I will try to silence them.
Yeah. If I'm being like attacked, if I make a mistake and I'm being pushed like that as agent or hacker, I just generally like, there's no reason for you to stick to this one reason. People make mistakes. It happens.
I just read chat for reference. This game has gone on almost as long as the length of Toy Story 2.
I think this is going to be the longest tournament game.
It's only
Well,
game
let's
two.
never we are never going to let these 5 people play with each other again. Let's just make that.
Our
rule.
longest game prior was 1 hour 58 minutes. I think this is going to go into longer because it's N4. It's been an hour and a half,
Yeah.
and N4 is still at 1 out of 5. N5
Yeah.
is going to take a long time if this isn't secure on N4.
Yeah,
But
we're
if it goes
definitely
to
gonna
5.
see 2 hours. We're definitely seeing 2.
If it goes to
Yep.
5 nodes, yeah, probably.
So I
Yeah, if
get
it goes
paid
to 5 nodes, it'll
overtime.
be 2 hours.
Toy Story 2 is still a little better.
Which
Love
I
Story
don't
than
think I can
Twilight,
really last
true.
2 hours because I have a class at 3:30 and I have an assignment that I have to do before that. So
Hmm.
Does this mean
multitask.
Kane pays me overtime for
I can.
co-commentating
It's
with him?
like a
Yeah,
hard
you get more
assignment
channel
that I
points,
need to
dude.
full focus on.
Yes!
Something I wanted to bring up with, like Ivan not being confident enough to do it. I'm trying to push him to be willing to make more important changes if he is going to
Mhm.
do some programming, because I know that's going to be the more important one we want. He's
Oh,
been
we've
suggesting
lost
stuff
it.
like allowing skins to have some pixels turn transparent, or even making it so that you can have a persisting looping animation that follows the actual player character. And then he even dared suggest changing the art style by allowing pixels within pixels. Not only is that
Oh.
not possible, but it would ruin the art style, and it's bad pixel art practice to have the aspect ratio of pixels to change within itself.
Mm.
He's not
I think
trusting
if
me
it's
on that.
possible to introduce like streamer/spectator mode, that'd be a change that would really increase the player base because I think more streamers would play. Like, I don't know. I can't
know-
stre- like
I-
I've always wanted to stream a little bit, but I can't stream like bigger games, like more intensive games because my computer will kill itself. But I could probably stream MINDNIGHT, and I probably would if there was streamer mode. But I don't want to like put in blockers and stuff
Are
myself.
you
'cause
saying your potato is
I don't
bad?
know how to do that. My potato's very bad.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you wouldn't be
yeah.
able to do the blockers and run OBS and all that. Like that's gonna be pretty hard
Yeah.
in general.
I've made note of it. So
Yeah.
This is where we say basic games should remain basic.
but I definitely want to try and make sure we could get some really nice, bigger features implemented if he's going to help. Because
Yeah, if you
I don't know how likely Notepad and UI is. I feel like that's going to be Marcel and Hannes working
Oh,
on that
God,
because of the fact that that's basically in their next step after 3.0. So I feel like we have to focus on the areas outside of that, me and Ivan. And if I wanted to focus on areas like that, it would be like customizing customs, previewing skins, and haywire game mode, as well as the spectator mode, streamer mode, and of course small changes for the UI, like making randomizing the order players appear in. That way you can't just, it's to each person, everyone's on a different position.
That would be crazy.
You can imagine what that reaction we get. Oh no, protocol!
Yeah, dude. That means Rule 3 would have to take. No, Rule 3 wouldn't
Yes,
work.
get rid of Rule 3.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would be crazy.
Rule 3 is dumb.
That would be amazing because like for so long, like Protocol has been shit on for being a meta cheating thing.
I think there might be an
It's
issue
dumb.
with potential rule break Nassim.
What happened?
Bogdan DC'd. They were trying to pass it back to where where the proposer was, and then Sunny propped before they could do that and refused to pass.
Then that's I think that's just a pointed action, but they need to screenshot it.
I don't know
I'm
how
not
much
sure
it
if I
changes
know.
things, but like
Remake the lot, redo the game, do over.
redo the game.
They can spend
Nah,
the glorious
just
an hour
that-
and a half for nothing.
The issue is like a lot of rule breaks like this. Last tournament, people weren't screenshotting, so like we technically couldn't do anything with it. Even though I'm watching it, like we couldn't select which games that we watched had rule breaks and which ones didn't, because some of the ones we watched we weren't paying attention, and they might have had rule breaks, and people would be like, "Well, you were watching, so we didn't screenshot." So if they don't screenshot it, they don't like. nothing else.
Maybe in that case, next time I make sure I have my Bandicam started, then I have a recorded match.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean we have a VOD of this match, so I am streaming.
Ah, that's good then.
And Bogdan said it was unintentional, like John pointed out, so as long as everybody's okay with it, it should be fine, I think.
I don't think the first rule break is a point deduction anyway. I think it's warning. I don't know. I didn't. Pivot did most of the like rule break stuff. So
Yeah,
I'm not really
Bogdan
sure.
said it sounds like a warning, and so does Alex saying it's a warning.
Yeah, I think it is a warning the first time. Well, no, I think it depends on what the rule break is. Let me check.
Yeah, that's why I'm streaming, so I can snitch on the tourney players. Let's go.
Sonny going to carry me, Alex.
Ooh.
Sonny sus for breaking rules.
And why would you ask Alex of all people? That's amazing.
Yeah. Maybe it's intentional. Maybe he
Oh,
knows
no,
he's so
yeah.
sus that he'd do it.
That's
Try to-
exactly why. Because I know who Sunny is player-wise, so I don't know if we've
So
talked about it,
I
but-
do feel like Sonny is kind of scared that Bogdan is hacker and is just controlling the game.
Yeah, first offense is a warning for any rule break. I think. Yep. Other than the red rules.
Oh, there was also another option I forgot to mention. You know how I said about previewing skins as an option? There was some other options I wanted to include in that little group as well. Having a 5-star rating option that any user can implement their vote on, so that we could also get feedback on what skins people like and dislike from
Oh,
that.
that'd be really cool.
And
Even
what-
if they don't own it, they could still rate it, and it's still useful for input because not everyone's gonna.
Petition for everyone to low star the skins they like the most to potentially decrease their cost. Scam the system.
There was also another thing that I suggested that Francis really liked when we were talking, and it was creating a skin bestiary alongside the shop rework. So every time you discover a new skin, you'd have a new entry unlocked, and it would basically remain as a silhouette if you hadn't unlocked it.
That's really cool.
He needs to propose here.
He can force Node 4 if he proposes here.
there are some suggestions that have made it like onto the
issue.
suggestion leaderboard, but we've already discussed some of them, and some of them we've said we're outright not doing, or at least not doing for a very, very long time, even if they got really high up. Actually, let's take a look. I might be able to find it again. Suggestions. Where's the leader? The bot hasn't been uploading any messages in the suggestions channel for a while now. It's not been posting its leaderboard.
Bot broke.
What's up?
Sounds
I
like it needs a
mean-
reboot.
I mean, it's been working where you put the command in and it still displays like the love heart reaction. But I'm scrolling up and I'm not seeing its leaderboard posting anymore.
Oh man, my chat isn't right, so I don't see that, Lex. What is that? I need to readjust. Oh,
There
God.
it is. The last one it did was 13th of November 2020.
That is cursed.
That's bad. That's really bad. That should be working. But Notepad going in, limitless levels, that's a consideration. That's not something we're really considering doing for a very long time, if I remember correctly. It was a while ago we discussed all this, so my memory may be wrong, so don't quote me on this. But making the level cap limitless, chances of that happening are very slim. There are much more important things we would want to focus on, and we don't think increasing the level cap's going to change that. Making the tutorial unskippable for new players, unless it's already the case. Francis has been working to redo the tutorial for over a year, and it's still not coming yet. So...
Telling me slacking.
Even Marcel was the one who told me he's been working on it for 2 years and still nothing yet.
Telling me slacking.
Yeah. Then we have the Plimpton suggestion of making custom games more customizable or adding modding support. And that's where my customizing custom thing comes from. It's based on that suggestion. Change how no team's rejected counter looks so new players can clearly know when it's hammer.
Just a big throbbing 4 or 5 just appears larger and larger on the right side of your screen.
Ooh.
Yeah, just eventually consuming
Dun, dun,
the rest of
dun,
the screen.
Instead of 4 or 5, just like put a big picture of a hammer.
Yeah, even that, and some people have even asked for like an actual indicator on the person who has it at that point.
Oh god, that would just encourage more pass. Now I have the hammer. No, I have the hammer.
Then the next one is remove the triple Z's because of how it's misused in strategies. And then next one is have your own skins side by side so that you don't have to spam click to find them. You can just select it. In the main menu, mind you. To be fair, you can go to your own collection or the store and just select it from the side by side in there. So while it's a liked suggestion, I kind of find it a bit redundant. It's just basically convenience. You have to click less to do it. Like you don't have to click to profile collectibles and then pick one. You could just pick from the main menu. The next one is better have the option to turn off the swear filter. I agree that's a good one, I think, to include.
Yes, please. I want to be able to say the cuss words without having symbols appear.
Yeah. Add some sort of alert when you find Q, as it's not clear enough. And I've put this in the UI of making the rest of the screen go dim, except for the window you need to join or cancel. That way, there's a clear visual feedback when you find a match. Something as simple as that would be incredibly easy for us to implement.
I know it would never be possible or never happen, but personally I would love it if like you're waiting in a queue and it's 7 or 8 men and it just forces the game to play. I would just love
Oh
that.
God, no!
Because like
No.
nobody ever wants to do that, and it's honestly so much fun. It is so much fun to do a quick. Yeah, it's so much fun though.
It's so OP for hackers.
No, you say that, but I've won so many games. I got my achievement doing quick play with that one. Like it's
So
easy
did
for
I.
agents to fucking win if they just.
I didn't
if they
enjoy
just
having
pay
to go
attention.
achievement hunting for it.
No, it's so much fun.
Oh, it's
I love
so
quick play 7/8s.
If
So
you
much
manage to
fun.
find a queue of 7 or 8 where all the agents pay attention, please let me know because that is amazing.
I don't think they happen anymore, but they used to back in like 2017, 2018. They did. When the player base was like 200, 300 a day.
I just wanted to say also the final one in the top leaderboard is add a skin creator into the game. Now this one has been rejected, and the person who suggested it, I told them twice, if not 3 times, why it would not happen and why it would not be a good idea to happen. They didn't listen. I told them first off that means we'd have to micromanage further with moderation what skin concepts would then be visible, because some people would put some racist shit or
There'd be penises everywhere, dude. Just
exactly,
penises.
exactly, and we don't have the moderation to be able to check that thoroughly. Not to
Hey
mention,
Bogdan, what are you? I'm a giant dildo.
because his suggestion was that you would pay like 25k credits to get that skin in. I'm thinking, well, in the end, it's just you're just getting to put your skin in, no matter how bad the quality is.
Yeah.
And then we're not. And
think
not
of
only
like
that,
all the
but
like really really bad, intentionally bad skins. So that'd be hilarious.
yeah,
Just like deformed people.
I mean, you say that, but who won the map design with the worst one that got a special mention? You got put in the game anyway.
What is that, skate park?
No, it's the one that's just like a box. it was like so bland and bare.
I remember Fuji apparently tried to do the map competition. He learned it was a lot harder than he thought. I've tried making a map, and the result was my Photoshop crack expired and didn't work anymore, so I wasn't able to produce a map. And in 1 hour, Radu whips up the desert map for me.
Yeah, but there's not really much in the desert. There's a single cactus.
I
and some
know,
sand.
but even I was taking longer because I was trying to make it like a gas station in the desert that's been abandoned. But yeah, it's not as easy as I thought it was. We've only had one successful community map maker, and we're going to see about implementing the map for 3.0. The map was made by Amy, actually. Yeah, she actually finished the map already, and it's the first map made by someone other than Radu.
Is it as good as the sewers?
Oh, it's better. Much better. It's probably one of the better maps I've ever seen, actually.
The sewers isn't even the best map.
It basically takes
The
place
sewers
like
is
in...
the best map.
It's
It has
like
a projector.
It's like a Hong Kong style map.
Ooh.
So you have all these neon signs on these buildings and shit, as well as lots of kind of vandalism and shit everywhere.
That's the only redeeming quality of the sewers. Fight or read them. But no, I personally love the server room or the fan room, even though for some reason majority players hate those maps, but like I love those maps so
It's
much.
because the fan makes people nauseous.
Don't look at it.
It doesn't affect me, but
I just
everyone
sit
else
there
just
like
complains about it.
playing with my mouse on it every time I'm in that map. Like,
I mean, I'm going to attempt another map again, because now I've got a more clear idea of what I will go for, actually. And I'm going to see if I can implement it with the Haywire mode as well. So that new mode, new map as well, to accompany it.
nice.
And this map will accompany the chaotic energy
don't say that.
Haywire will have.
Sorry, Sorry. I'm
Don't worry, I know you're
very
talking about the
invested.
match. I
I'm
know.
very invested.
LK is actually still following the game.
Wait,
Yeah.
why did Alex make this prop?
Because
Is,
Sunny
is
is
Sunny
We're
still
forcing
getting props?
Bogdan. Hooray!
Sunny
We
is
have
working
action.
very hard as a shepherd.
Oh, I see.
The
I was
map.
AFK, and then I heard LK go like, "Don't say that." I was like, "Oh, I'm missing things."
You see what Alvin said?
No, I didn't see it.
Said if this prop here gets hacked, he'll consider Sunny. He's already considering N4 hack.
Well, Lloyd wasn't in the props, so of course he. Oh, his prop. Was he
This
talking
prop,
about his prop?
this prop that's right here, the one that's shown
Oh,
right.
okay.
The map I'd be going for
Noah.
is it's like a constantly moving elevator, constantly shredding downward. There's just like the sparks and shit flying off the walls as it derails down.
I feel like MINDNIGHT needs some sort of like offshore platform kind of map. Just way away from the world, just 5 people just standing around on a platform in the middle of the ocean.
There needs to be a space station map. Like that'd be
That's what I
Bogdan should be
considered.
confirmed
I-
agent to every single person in this game because he's gotten hammered 3 nodes in a row now, and everyone calls him agent. Everyone.
No, no,
Yeah.
it's
pretty much.
awesome. If he's hacker, he wins this game.
Well, it feels
Yeah,
like
but
he's
with the way
agent
things are
for all
going,
the
he's
wrong
like confirmed
reasons.
agent.
I would just.
I think
I
Bogdan
feel
might
like
win.
this needs to go.
I think
This needs
Bogdan
to
might
go, and if it
go
hacks, and I
down.
think it's Bogdan.
We'll see. Right now the issue is there's conflict between Alex Noah and there's conflict between Lloyd Sunny.
Well, Bogdan has a prop. He can prop whatever he wants right now.
I
But
know.
he's still.
But it kind of depends because like no one wants bottom, so bottom could happen. But
The comment I wanted to make on that space map was that it feels like it would be a not so subtle like nudge towards Among Us. Even though it's not exactly Among Us's thing to just be in space, you know, but you can't kind of help it. If you thought about like a deception game where people are in space, you're gonna think of the deception game with astronauts as the players.
True. There's also what's that other game that came out that's free? That's like aliens and astronauts or whatever.
Something
Unfortunate
Spaceman.
Spaceman.
Yeah.
Unfortunate Spaceman. That's also like kind of a deception game in space.
Yeah.
It's basically Among Us if you're walking around.
I don't think
Exactly.
that's like a problem though. Like, who cares if
Yeah, that's
people
what I'm saying.
think
Like,
that
I
it's
think
Among
there's
Us
a
or
lot
whatever?
of it.
Like,
So I don't
I
think
think it
it's
would just
that
be
big of a
cool
deal
to have a
either.
space thing
Because
and
there's
like
also
have some lore behind it. Like hackers have hacked into space
Yeah.
and we have to stop them. You know, like they're hacking
So
our
there's also,
satellites.
Enemy on
Like,
board. like there are 3 space deception games out, and no one really like complains about any of them being like too similar to anything else.
So we have a note 4.
plus,
Hooray.
I think
I
that'd be
just-
healthy for the game if somebody compares it to a popular one.
True.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it'd be funny that that just the hackers hacked the laws of physics and wound up in space all of a sudden. The concept of that would be hilarious.
I just think the thing of like an offshore platform is that's remote hacking gone to extremes. They're in a remote place hacking.
My only other concern with doing a space map is making it look like it's in perpetual orbit, where you'd need
Oh, there
everything
he is.
to be moving. I'd find that much harder to do because in space it's going to be much slower when everything moves. At least with the elevator map, everything would be moving fast, so you'd have everything jump in distance.
Poor Alex, dude. I
God,
hate
I've been
being in
talking so much, my
Alex's
throat is dry.
shoes in this when like you're in a hack node and then everybody takes the other 2 people in that hack node and you know you're an agent. That situation, like, oh man, I hate being in that situation. He should gain a lot of trust now though, and if he doesn't, like, whew.
I don't like that it's only the agents who've started talking, like the hackers are just staying silent, hoping they turn on each other. That's already a kind of a worrying sign.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's not
Alex.
good.
No.
He
That
really
means Lloyd
feels
plus
it.
1. Lloyd plus 1.
Yeah. He's
Lloyd
probably
plus
gonna
the
go to
mastermind.
Noah.
Bogdan, the the true hacker of this entire game.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. He's ended up with hammer
Every
on
single
2, 3,
time.
and 4.
Yeah.
Has Bogdan been in every prop?
Yeah, he's been in every single node. I kind of... I don't see why Bogdan for his node 2 just doesn't make sense. I don't see why he wouldn't go top if Alex and Noah both leave him hammer for node 2.
Oh my god. We've got 10 minutes. Do you really think this node's going to be done in 10 minutes?
No
Let's be honest
way.
with ourselves.
This is gonna be
No.
a like 30-minute node. Get your,
Exactly. So we're going to be here until 20 past.
get your
so it'll be
second
2
round of
hours, 5
popcorn
minutes.
out.
I'm getting a drink. I've got time.
I mean, you could go
On
shopping.
the plus side, it's half time in the football today, the early games.
Which game will end first, the football game or this?
That is a good question. I mean, they got 50 minutes for half time. They've only just reached.
Ooh,
it,
it's
so
gonna be
you
a
know.
close one.
Yeah, I got an hour to finish this before I can go and watch the end of Burnley Man City. Also, do we believe that ourselves as Lloyd are hacker or agent here?
Who knows?
Because I really don't want to look. If I'm agent as Lloyd, I'm seeing Sunny as agent.
What up, Kasra? The Republic of Jungle demo was released on the Steam Game Festival today. That's that other social deduction game that I don't think we ever got around to playing, sadly.
Alex is back in.
Noah, I honestly didn't think this far ahead. Yikes. He thought the
My
game
brain
was
melts at
over
the
on
thought of-
Node 4.
My brain melts at the thought of Lloyd Alex being hacked.
Oh man, agents could pull this one through, I think. And Lloyd, he's just rolled over, hasn't he?
Mm-mm.
I missed if he said
No.
anything, but I don't see the chat there. I don't see anything there.
Talked quite a bit right after the note. Has been
Yeah, he's been
I'm just
digesting the
saying,
information
like,
he knows.
Yeah, like Bogdan and Alex are taking control. This frames Lloyd as hacker there.
Oh, I'm gonna go and get my tea. I'll be right back.
Bogdan already said he wants bottom or right is his options. That pretty much writes Lloyd off. And Lloyd says nothing to that. He wants to, but he just keeps not. It's not a good sign. It's tough, because, like, what can you say?
You have to find a prop you like.
Yep. Bogdan's been on the reads all game. He just hasn't been doing the right ones, like for the props. But he's been seeing them. Taking control of the game equals hacker. True.
I feel bad for Bogdan this game, personally.
Because of his team?
Yes.
Yeah. Same. Oh, we're back to tunneling. DBD talk. Let's go. think agents are finding each other.
Sunny needs to stop propping the same prop every time.
Yeah.
Since N2, man.
Okay,
Too much
I'm
information
back.
has
I brought
has been
myself some
provided for
Like-
spaghetti
Joey
bolognese.
thinking since
It's
prop.
still on 0 out of 5, apparently. Terrific.
Yeah, Sunny should be propping right side after Bogdan saying that right side was potential in his mind.
Yeah. Sunny should be propping literally anything other than that. It doesn't even matter
Yeah.
if Sunny's propping bad props. Just like sticking to your prop for 4 nodes is so much worse than propping a bad prop.
He switched to Bogdan over Lloyd for a second, but
Yeah, but he has favored
No, but he's
that
still
prop
showing
a
left
lot.
side.
yeah.
But at the
I
same
don't know,
time, I mean, if you're not getting the prop that you think is right, you kind of want to stick with it because you're like, see, everything else isn't working. I think my prop might be
Alex
right.
said it could be Noah plus Bogdan / Sunny / Lloyd, but it can't be Noah Sunny because of N2. So Alex,
Ooh.
where is your head?
I mean, Alex's head
This
hasn't been in
game
game
has been a
all game
complete
though. We've known
disaster.
that.
Alex has been hard throwing.
Yes,
That's all.
Alex has like Alex saw Noah start to throw, and he's like, "Hold my beer," as Wheels said in chat back then when it happened. Like, and I agree with that statement. Alex definitely was like, "Hold my beer. Let me show you what throwing is, Noah."
I just hope for his I
Oh,
hope for his
God.
team that they don't just carry him to victory because that'll be more
They
disappointing.
might. I don't know. Like,
Hey, look at that! I was gone for 3 whole minutes and I missed nothing.
Bogdan deserves to win,
yeah, I agree with
and
that.
I think Lloyd also deserves to win.
Yeah.
I think everyone else, I don't have a preference if they win or lose.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just figured out who Alex was. I had to remind myself to see which team it is that would need to carry to victory from this.
I just want to know who
I
Bogdan
do
is.
know
I feel like I know
that-
who Bogdan is.
Yeah, John, I agree with that. He almost did too. He almost propped
I'm
bottom.
pretty confident that if my teammate here wins, another team member or another team that won last time is gonna win again. So
That's fine. You
Yeah.
just gotta win games. It doesn't matter who wins with you. You
Yeah.
just gotta win games.
it's better than losing. So yeah. Because if we lose, a team from last time will still gain a point, and then 2 other teams will gain a point.
This needs some salt.
Damn, Bogdan.
What are good gift ideas?
Bogdan just going for it.
So you're telling me that Bogdan believes that the people who leave him hammer for node 2, node 3, and node 4 are both agents.
I mean,
Apparently.
they're either agents or they're hackers. I would say that it's clear they're on the same team. So, and Bogdan is seeming
Oh,
to
I
think
just got
Lloyd
some
Sunny.
But I don't like that. We saw that the exact same thing in the first game
Yeah.
on Sunday,
I mean, yeah.
and
yeah.
they turned out to be one hacker, one agent.
No, all I'm saying is that, like, well, I don't know. It makes sense to see them at this point in this game. It makes sense to see Alex and Noah on the same team.
Dude, I like Sonny as agent so much in this scenario. If I made
Oh, Sunny, classic Sunny. He has the faith in the left.
Bogdan's prop for me, no 2 just didn't make sense. If you get left hammered by Alex and Noah, why would you just not leave both of them out?
Yeah.
That
He's
way,
a
at
proud
least one of them is.
communist.
If you leave both of them out in node 2, you know one of them's bullshit you. If it hacks. The node 3 is a nothing node because there was no reason to hack that at all. I like Sonny as agent.
Wait, why would you say no proto and N2 if it's a double?
Because then it would imply it's Lloyd.
Oh,
High.
but like, you're not propping Bogdan when you're saying that, right? Like, Am I missing something there?
Well, Bogdan proposed, so if he caught the double of left side, then
Bogdan said that no was an N2, but no, I thought you said that, Alex, didn't he?
This is kind of funny. So after giving Alex shit early game for thinking no was in N2 and then Noah hacked N2,
Yeah.
Lloyd now is like, oh wait, Noah wasn't in N2.
Oh my god! Now Bogdan thinks, oh, top 3 might be alright.
Noah's saying if it's Lloyd, then he deserves the win. Well, the agent said it.
Yes, Lloyd's seeing it as I do. Sonny is most likely agent to you. You leave him hammer. If this is right, then Noah's getting hard sheeped by Bogdan for leaving him hammer. That
You
sounds
okay
good.
there?
I dropped one of my earphones into my fucking spag ball.
No.
No! It's got
Hope it's waterproof.
Where's my tissue box? Oh, that is embarrassingly bad. It just fell off my ear and into the thing.
I hope your spag ball enjoys our coverage as much as you are.
Oh, this is such a disgusting game.
Alex!
Wow, we're already on the next node projection already.
Yes, we like Sonny as
Oh
hammer
man,
holder.
you hate to see it.
See, normally I would wear headphones, but they feel so incredibly uncomfortable on me all the time, crushing my ears. Not to mention I have very bad volume control when I can't hear my own voice, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have that problem. Everyone just whacks me up to 200% and just.
This is I don't
So,
think the agents are gonna win this one, Chiefs.
The basis is Noah's been big sheep by Bogdan, or Bogdan is an agent and has just been propping wrong the entire time because he's being sheep by the hackers by leaving him hammer.
Alex has been sheep by Sunny.
Wait, hold on, do you not know who's who? Because you keep... I'm getting really confused sometimes by the way you guys are
I'm
talking.
playing blind. I'm playing from the stream point of view, so I have no idea if Lloyd's agent or hacker. I have no idea. The only person I know who Lloyd is because Kane is streaming their perspective. So I know who Lloyd is. I don't know who anyone else is, and I don't know any roles.
Because you have to you just assume that people that are watching the stream they have
Wow.
no idea, 'cause they're not watching the
Okay,
video.
that,
is literally already GG.
Dude, Lloyd sheep and Noah, Sunny sheep and Alex, Bogdan sheep and Noah. Everybody's sheeping up in here.
But the
This game's
three
already
people
over.
three people are
Yeah, this-
sheeping each other. It doesn't make sense.
I mean,
It's like how are there 3 sheep in this game?
that shows you hackers are controlling the game. I think. If you
I
can
think we won.
realize it.
Which
I
means
don't know
that
if
there's
anyone's
But
controlling this
Bogdan
fucking
saying
game.
don't fucking prop.
Which means there's a hacker between Alex and Noah,
Dude,
and Sonny's probably an agent.
oh my god, I feel so bad for Bogdan in this game. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
feel so bad.
Bogdan sees the truth.
Yeah, Bogdan already
Like,
knows he's being
like,
hard stuff
I
because
so,
of the fact
like,
that
literally
he's...
all he could do is prop right on node 2 or node 4, even though nobody wants it. Like that, like he's just so.
Yeah, it's over. They have to accept Bogdan's. Otherwise,
And they
it's
won't.
over, and they won't. Oh man,
But that's only accept if it's bottom, right? That's the only thing they're going to accept.
They won't.
That's the only.
Alex and Noah both won't accept bottom. They're not accepting Bogdan doing the right now.
I struggle to see how Alex and Noah are both.
And
in
they
the same
both
team.
they both are fine with Sony Hammer.
Yeah,
They're both fine with Sony Hammer, so they're not accepting.
and Bogdan passes. Doesn't matter.
Well, Bogdan can't pass because
Dude,
he loses
yeah.
to
No,
Sonny
like, okay.
Lloyd.
I'm honestly like I'm so
Profanity.
mad if I'm Bogdan. Bogdan has tried so hard this game.
Oh man,
And he's just not winning.
it is sad.
I'm gonna be pissed if I lose to Alex Noah here. I will be legitimately pissed.
And Solus, you
Oh.
said you still don't know who they are, right?
Yeah, I don't
Oh.
I just
But it's
referenced
just
it.
not
Oh
He has
my
to put this.
God,
He has to. He
yeah.
has to force this through. I mean, that's
Poor
the only
Bogdan.
thing he can do.
That's unlucky.
You know,
I mean, this
So-
Bogdan accepts this. They can
Bogdan
both
knew this
accept
since
this.
then too.
Wow, I
Bogdan
am
knew
so
that.
Bogdan had
It-
it. They are gonna hate
Bogdan,
themselves.
No.
yeah, they are.
No, I feel
Did
so
it
bad
show?
for Bogdan, especially because Bogdan spent so much time being like, Alex, Noah, what do you guys think about bottom? What do you guys think about bottom? What do you guys think about
Yeah.
bottom? No.
I
You know
feel
what
I'd be
happens,
so
like-
upset.
Coaches will take a look at this. They'll like coach their teams, and then the players who are weaker will like lose games, and the players who are stronger will eventually get on better teams and win games. You know.
So would it be okay for me to now basically say who's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
game's
it's
Oh,
over.
I just
we
looked,
we
yeah,
spoiled
the-
it there at the end anyways. you know.
Bogdan is Yeetus the fetus.
Nice.
And Noah is Lemon, and Alex is Gellert.
Yes. Arsenal is Sonny.
Yeah.
Lemon is actually yellow, funnily enough. And Gellert's Alex.
I think Noah played better near the end of the game. I don't know.
Also,
I
a
think
story-
they just like read into their argument incorrectly. They read it as like a hacker and an agent when they should have eventually seen it as two
No,
agents.
Alex and Noah decided node 1 or node 2, I
Yeah,
can't remember,
John.
that the other was hacker, and it was just game over.
Yeah. And when that happens, usually, like, they're both agent.
I don't know about that, but like the way it was, they definitely could have both been agents, and Bogdan saw that, but could not convince either of them.
Yeah, I'm undeafening people.
The issue is, I think, that like Bogdan didn't want to prop bottom because if it's wrong, it just looks bad because no one liked it.
Yeah.
It's like that's just rough. But
Yeah, like John said though, Bogdan had the
Congrats,
idea of
Alvin.
propping the bottom on node 4, but he didn't.
Yeah.
That would have been
Are we doing
wild.
post-game interviews that will last another 3 hours?
We can have a
Well
take
played,
on the
Alvin.
winner's
Yeah,
perspective
no,
from
well
Alvin.
played. You,
Oh, my
Oh,
word.
you had
memes
Noah
channel.
Sheep,
Officially the
Sonny
longest
had
tournament
Alex
game, I
Sheep.
believe. 2 hours and 7 minutes.
In the memes channels, Lloyd says, "See, what scares me is if that Lloyd hacker and I'm his number 1, then I'm probably pushing his partner, which scares
Alvin,
me."
when did that happen?
It was like
I
somewhere
don't know,
in
but
2,
August.
I think.
And
That was
two,
note 2.
Alvin goes, see, what scares me is that if Lloyd hacker and I'm his number 1, then I'm probably pushing his partner in, which scares me a bit. Lloyd said that about himself as hacker.
It was it was genuinely
He
a
outed
typo. I meant to
himself
say
in the
Noah.
middle of the match.
It was genuinely a typo. I meant to say Noah, but like
Whose team won the first tournament? By the way, since I didn't get to see that.
It wasn't-
Mystic and
where
Espionage, I
where
believe,
is
right?
Perfect?
Huh? What was your question?
No, I was
Who
looking for
won the
Perfect
who
account.
who
Game
won the
1
first?
was Team Mystic and Espionage.
No, Team
Right.
Mystic and my team. Team
Ah,
Mystic and my team won. Nasty Sims, not espionage.
So the Discord name, is that the display name or is that the account name?
who-
Wait,
so
game
Discord-
game
Their
1?
name is their name on
Doxy
Discord.
didn't win
Oh, game
game
1?
1.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you were
like
talking about
what?
this game.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
game 1.
but-
No,
game 1
game
is-
Yeah, Doxy
one.
didn't
game
win
one.
game 1.
Game
But-
1.
I thought you were talking about this game. Yes, game 1 is Mystic and Espionage. Yes, I misheard you.
Is that the display name on Discord or is that the account name on Discord? Because mine are two
It
different.
doesn't
So
matter,
now
we
it's
can- just
so
whatever you
team
see.
Mystic. So is Team Mystic now at 2 points?
Yeah,
currently at
they
game
are.
one?
They have 2 wins.
Yes.
They're in first
Team Mystic
place.
is leading. Everyone
No
else
way.
is tied except for... No, actually, only me and Espionage are tied, and then the other two have 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hackers have won both times.
That's all point and laugh
Only
at the
4
losers.
Obamacare and the Penguins are joint lost currently.
Okay, I don't actually know the team. So whose team was Arsenal on?
Arsenal's Mystic.
Okay, Mystic
Um,
played pretty well. Can I rate myself?
Gellert. No, I mean you can. You don't. We won't look at that though.
Oh, I'm gonna rate myself.
Okay.
Looking for Pivot. Who's Pivot?
Hibbert, what is Gellert? I think.
Sportsmanship. He was pretty sportsmanlike. I'm gonna give him a 4 though. I Spice.
I Spice was lemon. Yes, it was lemon.
Okay. Lemon was very good. I'm giving him a 5. And that means Bogdan was also a 5. He was pretty okay. On performance, leave your team blank. I'll
Oh
actually.
god, Zoe actually has the League of Legends Zoe emote.
Captain John is very
He's
good.
sorry. I wonder when agents will win.
Mystic.
I Spice
Probably when they
was
prop the
good.
correct 3-man nodes. Duh, thanks, John Madden.
He was
What an
okay.
insane-
Hi, Mystic.
Oh wait, I
can't-
can't give him a 5. I can't give him a 4 either.
Mystic, hi.
He's muted.
Oh, he's muted.
You're muted!
Oh, he's in class. I think.
He
No,
just wants to
Mm.
come and gloat that he's won.
He
with you.
didn't say anything.
No, he messaged me.
Wow.
Well, I say we get him in
Yeah, I'm just
trouble
really
with the
popular.
principal's office.
No, I can't give him.
He is in high school, so. Fucking child.
Let's do it.
Don't stalk my team. That's toxic. I was surprised at how Arsenal I mean, Arsenal's weaker as hacker. We knew this.
No, okay, I don't know. Like Arsenal plays
I
some
wouldn't
really
say
good
that.
hacker games, but then
Okay.
he'll turn around and not do protocol and lose a tournament game with me
Well,
on
I
his team.
think his agent is like hella strong. I think his hacker is definitely weaker than his agent, but again, like I think in these lobbies he plays hacker in a way that like they would like that.
And I mean,
Like,
if you
if
I
don't
mean,
know,
he had
if you don't
Alex
know,
wrapped
I
around his
believe-
finger node 5 this game. Like,
What's the? Can you
Yeah.
remind me of the website to upload the screenshot again?
Either image BB or like any image uploading site really.
it's like the scary thing about Arsenal is like hacker
IMGBD is
agent.
what I use.
He just has a way of like convincing you,
Dude,
and he was
Kane,
able to
I've
do
had
that
so
to
many
Alex.
games where Arsenal will do something and I'm like, this is such a hacker thing to do, and then in the back of my mind I'm like, never mind, that's just Arsenal, so I just let him do it.
Do you think we could get an interview with Arsenal?
I mean, you can try. You can see the channel.
Does someone want to track him down?
Yeah, we're gonna
He's in
track
the
him
channel.
down, hunt him.
He's been
No, but if
streaming
I
games
join
before.
him, then I don't get to speak because Kane's doing the stream.
Well, I'm gonna go now. That was I hope to make. I might be able to watch the next one.
That was 2 hours of your life you're never going to get back again. How do you feel?
I don't know. I have uni work to get on with, and I spent
Oh my
2
God,
hours
good
of
luck
my
with
free
that.
time.
Good luck with that. math and
You
everything.
spent 2 hours doing most
Hey,
instead of
Nissim.
that.
I forgot to take a screenshot of Arsenal's rule break when he propped when he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
And bear in mind that's British.
Yeah,
That's
it's okay. It's just a
UK.
warning anyway.
That's British university.
Yeah,
not
no, I
American
feel you, bro.
university,
I
so-
feel you.
I'm
I've
sure
been there,
someone
done
else
that.
took a screenshot.